Hello, community, of whom I am so proud. Oh, the transition broke. Hello, everyone. Different setup today. There might be problems with it. We'll see. I fixed some stuff, though, and it appears some other stuff is broken. Coding overloaded. Is it still going to be overloaded? We'll find out. Welcome. But as the time has come, and so have I. So we have an interesting new event here in Cabal. Things have happened. We have Baked Zach is a new member of the server, and he's been rather a treasure, in a sense. I'm going to have to fix the encoding. Actually, give me a second, chat. I'm just going to have to stop the recording. Yeah, apparently doing a live AV1 encode is just a bit much for it. So I can't change the encoder while it's running. Okay, we'll do that then. That should be fine. Hopefully. Anyway, welcome everyone. The normal kind of treasure or the cursed cybersmith kind of treasure. Yes. See if you can guess. It's still giving me this error. I'm sorry, chat. I've just got a new setup. I was interested in streaming again because I fixed a bunch of stuff on my PC, but it looks like it's found a new way to break. And I tested this earlier and it was fine. But yeah, this really has brought everyone together. I woke up and I saw, that's interesting. There's more people than usual in voice today in Cabal. Maybe something's happened. I asked them what's happened and they just informed me. We have a new lolcow that we're tipping. And then there's this guy, Baked Zach, in comments, who says, and I quote, "Racism is degeneracy, pedophilia is degeneracy, bestiality is degeneracy, incest is degeneracy. You're, wrong you're, all cut from the same cloth," he says. Now I can agree with part of that. I'm not sure about racism being degeneracy. I think he's just misusing the term there. But what I can't agree with is the misspelling of your. That really is the whole problem. Okay, so he claims that he's trolling us. So yeah. Yeah, buddy, that's the way around. This is join voice. We'll see if we can get him to join the stream. And if we can't, then so be it. I am unfortunately going to have to restart the stream here, which might break everything. It's probably going to break YouTube if I restart the stream. That's really annoying. But we're losing a lot of frames here because it, for some reason, is having trouble with the encode. Why is it having trouble with the encode? It wasn't before. Let's see if it's the screen share again. Because when I did testing with this setup worked perfectly. And now it's a completely different error from before, though. So that's good, at least. Anyway, I'm going to bring on one of our lead Zach consultants. But I'm going to have to restart the stream first because this isn't good enough. In that case, chat, if you're watching on Rumble or YouTube, this might be where the stream cuts off, and I'll try and upload the next part afterwards. Apologies for simplest possible streaming setup. See if this works. It appears I may not have solved the problem. A lot of other stuff is better, but this might not actually be solved. That's very disappointing. So yeah, if you want to see where he's talking, he's currently in Commons. There's quite a lot of memes about him. For what it's worth, your mic seems to be popping a little while you talk. That's probably the same performance issue, unfortunately. You can share some mint images from the Hall of Fame. I sure can. I don't know why you've worded it like that. It's not called that. It's just Hall of Fame. Hello, chat. Hello, UFC. We are laughing at a lolcow today. Cursed treasure is still treasure, says Jada. Technically true. Have you tried assaulting them? Tried assaulting what? Get in here, Zach. Yeah, why is Zach not joining? See, I can't tell because half of you have renamed yourself to Zach.
Did you mean this one?
Yes.
Hello.
I'm very disappointed with this issue. This wasn't happening when I tested it before. Anyway, let's do that for now, and that'll help a bit. So, welcome, Quattro. You were here before I was. Do you want to give us a rundown of what actually happened?
So by the time I noticed what was going on in Commons, he was already going on about how everyone's a pedophile in the server. You know, typical Falco positions, but way more vehement than even Falco ever has been about it, which I thought was pretty interesting. So we decided to start poking and prodding because why not? It's funny. And he started crashing out harder and harder and harder until we got to a point a few hours back where he then suddenly 180s and goes, "Oh, well, actually, I was just rage baiting and only pretending to be retarded." And then proceeds to quadruple down on the same shit that he was saying before. So we just kept going with him, and every time there was new libel unlocked, we celebrate. As it turns out, he unfortunately suffers from a disease called Reddit brain. And this is a horrible disability that results in him thinking that when your posts are being reacted with projector emotes, those are upvotes, you see. Quite a strange delusion.
Indeed.
He genuinely believed this for quite a while.
Yeah.
But this carried on for quite some time, and it's still, to this very moment, it's still ongoing.
Do we need to bring Ted in to explain how this individual found their way here?
Well, I can tell you that apparently it was his father / maybe grandfather, grandfather, we'll say, as he's probably inbred, who actually invited him here and then left himself, interestingly, but left his demon spawn here.
Yeah, someone needs to clean up that mess.
Look, having to clean up these failed abortions is quite difficult. It takes time.
We're at a position again where Cybersmith looks like the reasonable one. Cybersmith says forced infantilism would be a blessing of Zach, which usually he's all for. But with Zach specifically, that would be too far, apparently. Cabal daycare. Just blame Aiden, says Kieran. His brother, Dad.
Well, see, Cybersmith, that would be an IQ boost for him.
I suppose so.
I mean, we found somebody so retarded now that he agreed with Falco, and Falco's like, actually, you know what? I'm going to stand back from this. This is fucked.
Yeah, that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely brilliant.
Common Cybersmith W.
Falco was joining in for a little while, and he had agreed on a few points, then realized, hang on a minute, this guy's fucking insane.
So,
and then just left.
Yeah. Ted, let me know if you are available, and I might drag you in, and if you're able to explain what happened here, how this guy ended up in Cabal.
Do bring on Ted, that would be fun.
Yep. Out Falco. Cyberspace says, I've actually been making a shared universe series of captions on DVDI about a hypothetical future where the government uses forced feminization and forced infantilism. It'd be an outstanding candidate. Of course you have, Cybersmith. Of course you have. By the way, did Cybersmith make the cut that guy's Achilles tendons meme? Because I'm pretty sure it's the only funny... He did it. He made it himself. Yeah. It's the only funny meme that Cybersmith's ever posted, as far as I know.
It is.
I thought someone else had made it. That is not Cybersmith. We're not surprised that you made a funny meme because you have STEM interests. We're surprised you made a funny meme because you're Cybersmith.
So it was an open suggestion, and Cybersmith was the one that took it upon himself to make this absolute gold.
STEM has naught to do with it, indeed. Yeah, I can't tell who half you people are, because you're all just Baked Alaska at this point. Baked Zach. Zach Alaska. Yep. Well, I guess we're all je suis-ing today, aren't we? Yeah.
Uh,
All right, Ted says go for it. Ted, move to hosts. Welcome, Ted.
yeah.
Well, hello there. Are we done with this wonderful day, gentlemen?
So, Ted, was this your fault?
Half.
Okay. You want to extrapolate? You want to expound on that?
Sure. So, I was playing Dune Awakening, and one of our neighbors is either his father, grandfather, potentially both under some new information. And we got along pretty well, and he was considering having a little bit of a guild merger, joining up with our guild, and he came to Cabal and we talked. Reasonable guy. And then he invited his son to come talk with us too. His son proceeded to spurg out in voice chat and left the call. And yeah, it didn't work out. And I told him, hey, you know, focus on your family. You know, got to kind of play with, with that, your family there. And then last night, we were doing some deep desert dungeon crawling, and we were attacked by him and some of his friends. Which I think he may have been given information from being part of Cabal. And then the next morning, he decides to crash out.
Yeah, that is odd timing. Ted, did you just leave the host's channel because you double-clicked on Apprentice to watch the stream? Look, everyone's going to do it at least once. Yes, he says everyone does it at least once.
Wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be me.
Welcome back, Ted. As you can see, I am also streaming, screen sharing, so you can just click on that.
Yes, I just pressed the wrong one because I'm retarded.
Well, you know, I'm something of a retard myself.
Would not be the first.
But that's about the story. Everything else after that is just gold. Probably
good.
one of the most hilarious days of Cabal. Really brought the whole community together.
Indeed.
But beyond that, not much to say, really.
Yeah. So we're being accused of a lot of things. Has he made any other interesting claims besides the copy paste that he's been posting constantly?
I believe it's been on repeat for the last 4 hours now.
Oh, he dropped the furry part of the accusations for some reason. Not sure why.
I think it's implicit.
He's just
What's the rest of the message?
posting it again. Arguably, it's spam. Arguably, but I don't really.
Can everyone in the live chat ping him to come join us, please, and see if we can't kind of smooth things over and make the alliance happen again? I think it's not too late to salvage this guild alliance and merger.
We're also going to see if we can contact another correspondent who was interacting with him.
Born Gamer would be a good one to drag up here. He might have a thing or two to say.
Specifically, Die.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I like the sound of that.
You see if I can get her attention. Oh, of course she's in fucking Marvel Rivals.
Missing on the drama as always.
Every time.
Yeah, so in case you hadn't noticed, chat, anyone that's watching, today's stream is a little less organized. I just saw this was going on and thought, let's start a stream, and if we run out of things to talk about, then we'll find stuff to talk about. Yeah, is he still going? It's still the same? Yeah, he's still going. Oh, success! We got him to change it from your to the correct your.
Now we need to get him to change it to Euro way,
Yeah.
Progress is
as that
being
is
made.
objectively correct.
Okay, so to be fair, he's calling Wick a pedo, and there is some evidence for that claim. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, he's he's corrected it from your Y-O-U-R to Y-O-U-R-E without the apostrophe. So it's still misspelled. So fine work there. 8-Ball is gently caressing the face of Zach. 8-Ball says, racism is incest, bestiality is pedophilia, and I am men. We all like clothing.
Oh, actually, no. I'm thinking about it now. There was another accusation that he dropped from the copy pasta, and that is he was calling us rapists earlier.
Wow.
Well, you did
and
rape him pretty
incels.
hard. Let's be fair.
Look, I engage in a bit of Donovan posting. You know, it's what you do. Speaking of, give me a moment. And,
Pug, don't forget
I'll
to post
fix
the
this.
complete one. With both faces.
Where is it?
I would also like to point out, since I am autistic, he is in our server, and you could go fight him in the server.
You mean the
In Dune.
Dune, yeah.
I have a good feeling that he will be dragging this in game as well, so I'll keep you posted on that.
Fun. Yeah, I don't know, where's he getting the incest is degeneracy part from? I'm gonna ask
Well,
him.
a lot of leftists tend to be racist against Southern whites with the whole entire they all do incest kind of thing.
Can you explain how racism is degeneracy? Thank you.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
He's now spelling your Y-O-R. So that's a change. I wouldn't say improvement. I've noticed that he's changed the spelling shortly after I mentioned that he had changed it before. Maybe he is watching our stream chat. What do you reckon? He has linked a GIF, which isn't embedding because he's a white name.
Good job.
I have a feeling that Cabal will be very good on him. I have faith, as I do with Falco, that he can change and that he can become better.
I'm not sure I'd put that faith in Falco. There'd have to be a pretty major life-changing event for Falco to change. But Zach here, I don't know. He seems motivated currently by something tribal, but that might change.
Well, when you first get exposed to new information, you're often hostile to it. I was actually the first person he's ever talked to who was right-wing, apparently.
Better and less baked
for a minute
Zach.
there.
Which one is that? Oh, it's I think I know who it is. Yep. I hadn't seen this meme before.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one before either.
I have a feeling for the rest of my Dune existence, he will be riding my cock in game. Which is quite an issue for me since I'm a recovering homosexual.
He was a promised concubine to me and my people 3,000 years ago, but I'm willing to share.
I think we're all willing to share, Baked Zach.
Yeah. Well, I am the superior clone after all.
Did he actually explain? Did he actually answer my question? He said, I asked him to explain how racism is degeneracy, and he says I can, and then didn't.
He's warming up those 2 brain cells. Give him a minute.
Oh, he's too busy processing for my recipe for banana bread, guys. Come on.
I did see that you asked him. You changed up his prompt.
Dala, so true, so true.
Yeah, I've mentioned that we know he has a mic, so he really has no excuse not to join. The problem is that I think he's probably doing this under some contrarian urge, and so he's probably not going to join because it wouldn't be contrarian.
Well, see, here's the thing, right? He's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. No win situation now. Because if he doesn't join, we can go, haha, coward, after he claims that we're all cowards. So again, disproving his point by just observing him. Or he does join, and then he makes a massive fool of himself. Again.
Would be funny.
So what about that Donald Trump crashing out?
Well,
Speaking of crashing outs,
we'll probably get to that.
I think we broke him again. Oh, is this him typing or one of the other Big Zacks?
what one of the fake Zacks is saying, don't join us in live chat. He says that he's uninterested in having dialogue about actual shit with degens. Why do you keep asking me?
Why, chat? Why?
Because we love him so.
I could ask. There's several ways that I could respond. No, my dude.
Very good point, Fireborn. That is a very accurate assessment.
Your positions against degeneracy. You and I are clearly cut from the same cloth. Join and we'll discuss how to destroy these others. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm playing the ally.
Very good.
The retard ally. We'll see what happens from that. He probably. I think he's shy. In reality, he's not going to join. But we'll see what his excuse for not joining is. Yeah. So in addition, for some reason, before I even joined, people managed to get him to just say this. Proud predator.
Oh yeah, and if you want to see that, I believe it is baked red. There we go.
He calls baked predator like the word redditor.
Yes, indeed.
He does have a Reddit.
I guess he must kill himself.
He legitimately thought that him getting projector reactions on his messages were upvotes.
Well, he probably.
upvotes, guys.
Mhm. He's probably just saying that to try and annoy people.
That doesn't help your case, Cybersmith.
I think we may have actually found the one person on the planet more retarded than Falco.
Hmm.
So retarded, even the fact did not want to jump on his side.
Yeah.
Well, you told me that he initially did.
Yeah, and then realized what he was allying himself with and very quickly backed away.
Hmm.
Funny that.
Although it does seem like Zach does not need a salad.
Don't worry, I'll dress his salad.
You stopped talking. It's such a shame.
I guess he had to go to Reddit to go get a new opinion uploaded into his brain.
Well, look, I don't want to assume because the only thing we know about him is that he has some like video game opposition to Cabal. So it may be that that
He is Cabal's greatest enemy.
I wouldn't go that far. It may be that he's just playing it up. We don't know what he's actually like.
Well, considering that he's a League player, I think we can be pretty safe in assuming that he is clinically retarded.
That is true. Cybersmith says he also has Reddit. You can't judge too broadly. Cybersmith, I'm sorry to say, but that doesn't necessarily make it any better. Ah, Cryptid, are there ones for all the levels as well? I didn't know. Self-appointed greatest enemy. Yeah, but there's several of those.
I have to post the clip now.
Oh, that played through the wrong channel because Discord's retarded. Let me put it in here instead.
Amazing.
There you go. Very good. Banned for uploading the protocols of the Elders of Zion. Ah, yes, indeed.
So far, I would say my recruitment efforts have been going great. One of the best new members of Cabal that I've invited yet. Well, his father, I should say. Team effort.
Yeah. What just happened?
Didn't he leave?
Oh, someone just joined Cabal. Who? What was the name of the father or grandfather or whatever?
Awaken Avatar.
Okay. This is not the same one. Someone called Mukku has just joined, whoever that is. You recognize him?
Nope.
I certainly don't.
It's interesting timing. One of the Zacks says, seems like the original Zack is a bit of a bitch. He does seem to have disappeared now. Or is he back? No, he has yeah, he is here no longer. What a disappointment. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little bit distracted, chat. This is very impromptu, and I am trying to fix problems. My system's performance is better now, but it's still got this weird like dip in frame rate it does every few seconds. And I think now I've tested it in multiple different configurations. I think just whenever I put the PC to sleep, it puts it into this state where it fucks around. So my solution, I think, is just never to sleep it. I've had issues with this PC with sleep for years. I think this is the thing here. Wayland does perform better in general, but with sleeping, it's still doing this. So it could be some issue with the motherboard PCI interface, or perhaps the graphics card itself. But yeah, the solution is not to sleep the PC, which means I can retire the draw PC and just put the servers on this PC because I'm never sleeping it anyway.
Well, it
Just move
appears there's a
slow.
new post in Hall of Fame. I wonder what it could be.
Ooh, let's hear what that was. Yep, getting some highly popular posts today. It's baked Zach's fucking copy pasta got into Hall of Fame again.
I think by the end of the day, Zach will be the #1 poster in Hall of Fame
Possibly, yeah.
for at least
There
a
were
week.
so many projector reactions. We got like almost every single message that he posted in the span of like 2 hours.
Thomas is pretty sure AM4 has always had an issue with sleeping. Well, I'm glad it's not just me. And I do have a pretty cheap AM4 motherboard. So yeah, I think though I know better where to look now. This is the cybersmith has a job. He does apparently. I don't think he talks about his politics or philosophy in real life, which means he is able to not. So when he does it, you know he's doing it perfectly voluntarily. Who is Zach? Asks PH. Well, Zach, gather round the fire. I've just found out myself.
All baked Zach now.
Yes, a lot of us are for some reason. We're all J Suiing. One of us. Invader once again has arguably taken it too far, calling himself Rape to Zach. I mean, not taking it too far in terms of offense, just, making us look bad.
I mean, his name's Invader for a reason.
Yeah.
It sounds like he got invaded.
Not just by Duchess. There you go. Thank you, Pug. You found it.
Many such cases in
what a great
Cabal.
post.
Many such cases.
I think Zach probably came in here intending to, say something mean and then get banned. But what ended up happening is he didn't get banned, so he just couldn't stop. So he just loops now. And he can't back down. He can't do what we want him to do either.
This is probably his first right-wing Discord server. Left-wing Discord servers, you get banned pretty quickly. He is new to free speech, so
he's also
still getting used to it.
This is probably also his first server that's this active. I mean, I'm sure that there's other servers he's been in that have thousands of members, but rarely do even those servers get this many people in voice. UFC says, did Invader get pegged by Duchess? I didn't know this law. Yes.
It's a canon event.
It's a canon event,
Many
exactly.
such cases in Cabal.
We should let Atronach rape him. Chat, are we just here trying to decide who gets to rape the newcomer? Is that what we're doing?
I think we're determining the line.
Right.
We're gonna use a system of drawing straws.
The arrow pickup on this apparently says
we
just married.
To this
Well, Agent Ice, we're discussing our new member of the Cabal Dune Guild.
I assume he has not joined the Cabal Dune Guild.
It did not work out for some reason.
Interesting.
His father decided that the merge or alliance was not going to be a tangible position.
Well, chat.
Or grandfather, I should say.
At least this this newcomer is not a league fag. Oh no, he is. Well, at least we have no evidence that he has like a mic and webcam. Oh no, wait, he does. Well, at least we have no evidence that he's like mentally and physically deformed and retarded. Unfortunately, I have not yet found any really funny cringe clips, but do you notice something about his
What do you
face?
mean this is cringe? He's playing League.
Yes, but do you notice something about his face? I've noticed it now. I didn't notice it before.
Is it the Habsburg chin?
He's got that Habsburg chin, yeah. So what was that you were saying about his father and his grandfather being the same person?
Oh, let me look at your stream here. I was looking at chat.
Alright, here's his Twitch, everyone.
Would you just for a second rewind it and play it again? That is definitely a strong chin.
That's one way of putting it, yeah. See if I can...
A very noble chin, one could say.
Built like a chest of drawers.
Only the purest of bloodlines.
Yeah, one bloodline.
The purest.
Yes.
The family spaghetti.
So he
Needs a
hasn't...
family tree when you have a family spaghetti.
Yeah. He hasn't actually been live since last year. Why won't it show clips here?
I would like to say this, though. His father and or grandfather, pretty cool guy. It is difficult being a father for a child who's mentally ill. So...
All right, we got the clips. Okay, what's the title? The title of this one. Is this the same one? Yeah, it is. The title of this clip is "When Mommy Finds You with Your Hand in the Cookie Jar."
That is very suspicious.
Yeah, hasn't he complaining about degeneracy the whole time he's been here? All he plays is League and Valorant.
That's pretty gay.
All right, here's another League clip. See if we can spot the Habsburg chin again. Oh, there it is.
I mean, you can see it from space.
So does he actually get views? Because he has the followers and the donations up. Is that recent donation like, yeah, this is what I got last stream? Speaking of which, chat, if you'd like to contribute, you can do so via the links below. Tip.uslu.net, fun.uslu.net. In fact, I need to show you a newish thing today. But first, let's look at more as Kieran puts it, snowplow chins. These are from 4 years ago, by the way, so I'm sure that his chin has only grown in power since then.
It grows with each more new retarded position he takes up.
I guess that's his mother's sister.
Like all homosexuals, he does well with women.
Now, listen, if Ted is saying he's a homosexual, there's a pretty good chance that he's a homosexual.
Well, he's got a very, very powerful, high-range gaydar.
True. Unfortunately, his Twitch is too boring to mock.
Well, actually, no, I've got one. Somehow more boring than Wes's streams.
That would be tough. All right. I'm gonna take a quick. The PH says orbiting isn't doing well with women. Well, yeah, I don't know what the situation there is. But that is true in principle. Chat.
Which I believe makes him 40 times more views than Wes.
Yes.
Yes. Indeed.
But like Wes, a lot of the views are from us. In fact, from Wes, almost all of them are. Wes BTFO'd by the Chin Chad. I can't even fucking at him because there's too many of you. What's he even fucking called in the baked?
I would do it for you, but he
those.
has me blocked at the moment. I am the only person in the server that he has blocked.
We're big fans of your big chin. There we go. Yeah, Simon Smith, I don't know how he would have reacted to you. Maybe would have called you a pedophile.
I think he's the perfect fit for Cybersmith.
Who, Wes?
Well, I was talking about Baked Zach, but you know.
Right. Right, speaking of all that, chat, and because I just mentioned it, brief intermission. I've modified the TP system. Here's the current state of it. Basically, the decay pattern now will bring everything closer together, so it's more competitive. And as you can see, it's already started happening. A lot of stuff is much closer together. It's now easier than ever to get something into the top 10. You remember before how the top 10 you had to, it was like hundreds of pounds up from zero. At the moment, you can get into the top 10 for £43. So you could make someone
If
kitten.
I may suggest, Baked Alaska, I mean. If you would have put that to the top.
That's the only way I'm going to forcefully rename him, is if you can get him kitten. But we could make that happen. It's honestly, it's much easier now to get someone to kitten. It's not super easy. It's still, yeah, you can see there's still quite a lot, but with time that could be done. But that's way lower than it used to be.
Matthias here today?
Matthias is not here currently, no. But if you wanted to get
give him a sales pitch.
For example, if you wanted to get Ginger to kitten, it's now way closer than it was before. Yes, Cybersmith. That's mostly historical. The amounts are coming down because the decay rate now is much more aggressive than it was before. Basically, it takes 5% of the current total and then puts that to the power of 1.1, so it's exponential, and that's the decay rate per day, which means that now 8-Bit Kitty is only 1.6k behind Supremacy, whereas before, it was 20k, or I think more like 21, 22, 23k before.
You know, if we play our cards right, we could make Bake Zack first place, and he will be Cybersmith's sorry, not kitten, but human pet.
Possibly. People would have to be very generous to do that. But yes, Baked Alaska has now been supported once, and if supported again, it will appear on the board because it has to be 2 people. I've also added dollar amounts as a convenient guide for people who are American, people who are afflicted with American.
Before I ship them, Cybersmith, do you think he's a worthy pet for you? Is his tendons ripe?
Kieran says, can we crowdfund to pay for Cybersmith to cage and tendon snip Zach IRL? Look, I'm not going to stop you. Though that's not something I'd spend money on personally. The only reason Cybersmith can't do that is because he lives on the first floor with no lift. So if he cut their tendons, they couldn't go up the stairs. That's the only reason he wouldn't do it.
No.
Well, you just get one of those powered wheelchairs like stair lifts.
You give him a fun carry handle, and you can carry him around.
You can tell Glossy's jealous. Glossy says Cybersmith would get tired of Zach too quickly.
Don't worry, Glossy. You'll always be his first love.
Isn't the first floor the same thing as the ground floor? No, Scarab. It actually makes sense to use zero-based numbering in a lot of cases, including floors. Though I would, I did come up with a better scheme for this at some point, but I can't remember what it was. Because there's the British way of doing it is ground floor, then first floor, and I think Americans just call the ground floor the first floor, so that can be quite confusing. But I did come up with a better way of wording things at some point. I can't remember what it was.
I'm going to give another boost to Falco here. He's actually willing to join voice chat, unlike Baked Alaska.
Yeah, but the thing is, no one wants him in voice chat. I don't know if all Baked Alaska here would be any more entertaining.
It'd be funny for a day at least.
Maybe. Someone says, yeah, if you're using, yeah, American uses Lua. Oh, is Lua 1 based? God, I never want to use it again now. Well, not that I ever have. You'd be willing to debate Falco in Voicicle. Did you mean Voicicle there?
You know he did.
MATLAB is 1 based. Jesus. Coiv chat. I think, did you possibly mean voice chat there? So, I mean, you've made 2 mistakes in a row. I figure at this point it's deliberate. Support Voicicle for the live chat during December. Too hot, keys sticking. I don't believe you, Cybersmith. That's not how keys work. And unless Unless your keyboard is just slathered with your sweat. Is that what we're talking about here, Simon Smith? Is that the situation? I appreciate Pug. I'm not going to watch it now, though. Yeah, as Ginger says, they don't stick in high heat. I don't... Melted chocolate, what the fuck is wrong with you, Simon Smith? Why is your keyboard slathered with chocolate? If you've got chocolate all over your fingers, don't use your keyboard.
Why?
Don't fucking get your keyboard chocolatey. If you actually
I
look,
can't be the only person who is incredibly relieved to hear that it's chocolate.
given it's Cybersmith, that is a step
It
up
might
from
be a code word.
expectations.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, thank you, Scarab. Scarab has supported Baked Alaska, who is now in number 9 on the board. To move up, it would only be £14 or $18, roughly. The dollar amounts are approximate, as it says there. That is just... I just went online and found the conversion rate and just applied that. It'll change over time. Currently, it's probably accurate, but it probably will change over time. That wasn't the only one. Yeah, indeed. Cybersmith is going to try and clean his keyboard. Why not just keep it clean in the first place? I mean, crazy notion, I understand.
He got a little too excited today.
Mm. So the...
I mean, today was pretty exciting.
One of the most exciting days in the Cabal, for different people, different reasons.
Mm. So the TP board now should work similarly in that when you support something, it will stay in the same place throughout the stream, pretty much, because the decay rate is not fast enough to significantly change it. Which is always what the point of the chain mode was originally, is it was meant to stay there for the stream, and like all those values would be static during the stream. But then after the stream, they start decaying. But I guess I was too open to Matthias just keeping it level constantly, so he did. Which is not his fault in the slightest. It's my design. But now with this one, it does decay during the stream, but not by very much, especially when it's already quite low. So higher things will decay way faster, but the idea is they just get closer to each other, basically. They all decay, but the higher ones go faster, so it becomes way more competitive over time, which will encourage people more to participate. As you can see, with just a few small changes, Baked Alaska is now visibly on the board.
Hey.
I think he will be the most hilarious kitten Cabal has ever had.
Cybersmith says, is it not possible just to have fast decay but suspend it during the stream? Yes, I could. But then the system would have to know when I'm streaming. And that could get fragile if I ever stream in such a way that I don't want it to count it as an official stream, or if I stream without whatever mechanism OBS is using to communicate that it's running, communicating to the system. It's way better to just have it time-based. What quantum Xeno effect? I'm not familiar with that, Cybersmith. You say we discussed it. What does that mean? To make it manual instead of automatic. What do you mean? I'm not making the decay manual. Kieran says, Baked Zach for official Cabal cuck, Kloptro Mitch, a nigger monster. Well, that has put a nigger monster quite a bit closer to being the new kitten. But you didn't support, Kieran, you didn't support the one that people have actually been using, Baked Alaska, for this. Just Baked Zach.
What a shame.
Maybe it's just a giant switch in the living to turn it on and off. Well, I'll forget to turn it off after a stream, and then it'll be terrible after just one stream. Cybersmith says, you remember we discussed the quantum Xeno effect some months ago? The phenomenon that can prevent radioactive particle decay if a particle is well observed, hence a watched pot never boils. Oh yeah, we did discuss that. You were completely fucking wrong and well proven to be wrong.
Oh, make sure you use Baked Alaska, by the way,
completely
Kieran.
absurd. And as it turned out, you had misunderstood the science. And a watch pot does boil. It just feels like it takes longer. Cybersmith, I think that you intended to be truthful, but your philosophy on truth is so warped that you couldn't. So no offense, but you were completely wrong on that one, as I recall. Kieran has now cheered for Baked Alaska. Nobody saw the price message, and this will be enforced via denial. Okay. Baked Alaska is now higher up. You can get him to 8th place very easily here. And Jackie has support Baked Alaska. Baked Alaska is now right behind Rid, which is on there from a previous contribution message. So Baked Alaska can now move up to 8th very easily. And then it's not far to... actually, it is far. No, it's not far to 7th. But then it is far to the next one.
And if I may make a humble request, don't forget Clovey, please. It was her birthday gift to be kitten.
Oh, was it?
It was.
Well, then we'll have to.
I'm not going to tell you what day is her birthday, but I did tell her for her birthday I would get her kitten.
Arcturus says, sounding like a racehorse announcer. You must be new here. Yes, the TP board has... The TP board, Arcturus, and for anyone else that's new, the TP board originally was intended to just be like, okay, what are people referring to? What topics are popular when they contribute? Like, for example, at the beginning it was dev, because we've been talking about SFO drama around the time that I added the TP board, and I configured it on the basis that it should probably be dev at the top, because that's what we've been talking about. But then the moment that we actually started attaching, like, this is the thing with... I've often said with communists, for example, they engineer a system which assumes people will behave as they do under the current system in the new system. But of course they don't. They adapt to the system itself. So if you're creating a system for something, you have to also account for how it will adapt to the system you've created. So that's what happened with the TP board. It was originally designed to just look at how people were acting and then measure it and like determine things from it. But because it existed, they changed the way they were acting. And so I probably helped it along by saying, if you get this to the top, then we'll do this thing. And that's where the kitten thing came from. And now it's not really about topic of popularity at all. It's just a horse race, as you put it. Cybersis says you took that out of context. About what? Was there was it revelation from a few streams ago when Cybersmith was demanded to see a picture of your dong? Why was it? I don't remember that. Was he demanding to see a picture of your dong, Quattro?
Homosexual activity in my cabal? More common than you would
There
think.
was an implication of sorts, you could say.
Britwit says the quantum rate pause is rarely sheathed. Cybersmith says it was in the context of religion to check if he was Jewish. I don't believe you, Cybersmith. I don't believe... Methinks the tendon-cutting lady doth protest too much. Ice, there's something weird about that snail.
It does seem a little off, but adorable.
Rogel, otherwise known as
What do you mean? That's
16
perfectly
Stars of
normal.
David, says, what wild shit has Cyber said lately? Actually, he's not the topic of today's stream. I speak
Believe it or
only
not.
truth, said Cybersmith.
Although
A new lockout was born today.
Earlier, it's in Hall of Fame. You check it out.
Arcturus says, we call Pekka checkers master gunners or meat gazers. Cybersmith, official Pekka checker of Cabal. Chat, press 1 if Cybersmith is the official Pekka checker of Cabal. You know, we could add a roll to
Glossy,
commemorate
has
this.
he checked out your pecker yet?
That's true. Apparently, Cybersmith says 2. I'm afraid you've been outvoted, Cybersmith. 8ball says that he groped 8ball's balls yesterday. Cybersmith, can you confirm this? Arcturus says sounds like a new role. Yes, we could make it a role, I suppose, but usually I like there to be some sort of extenuating reason to make a role when it's really it gives me a really good reason for it. Hold on, where's the thing? We need the thing we're using as a thumbnail today. I need to grab it. I think it's in Hall of Fame. That's where I can find. There we go.
There we have it.
Yes. So we've been distracted from Zach, who has become boring, by Cybersmith, who is just Cybersmith. Darla just pinged
Zach
Big Zach
really
with a
needs to
picture of
kick it up here.
Habsburg. I wonder how he feels. Does he still feel like he's the one doing the trolling now that we're streaming his trolling, his freakouts?
Well, the leftists do need to live in delusion to exist, so he probably thinks he is winning.
Yes, he says that the girl in that clip is gay.
Yeah, probably after seeing that Habsburg chin.
Prove it. Invite her to Cabal. There we go. He's still copy pasting, unfortunately. Us Zach clones are inherently superior.
Yes.
Usually clones have genetic degradation, but in this case, it's the opposite. It seems like they became a little less pure as they clone forward.
Well, see, that's the secret. We introduced some new genes from outside the single bloodline, and it turns out that was the one thing that it really needed.
He says that was from 4 years ago, and he doesn't talk to them anymore. So I've said, oh, that's a shame. Maybe you should join Voice and explain this kind of thing to us. But link us some more recent clips. So let's see if he does. He says, why the fuck would I invite anyone here? I can handle the copy pasta myself. Well, at least he admits it. Darla says, quote, they've known me long enough that they stopped talking to me, as if Zach is saying that. 8-Ball says, I can fix her Valorant addiction. Are you just going to get her so depressed that she doesn't want to play video games anymore?
No, see, what you do is you substitute it with something different that's higher quality.
Imagine being his father, grandfather.
Why have you created a fucking lolly cat girl meme to advertise Cabal merch? I am not
piss off Wes, so that's funny on its own.
I am not officially endorsing this. Cybersmith says sissy human pets aren't intrinsically gay. They are if they're male.
Before that image ends up in clown
It's
world.
the plus in LGBT.
Cybersmith says that he's going to meet Glossy when the temperature is less extreme. What you mean when your keyboard is less sticky? Mavis says, this is unironically the single gayest server I have ever been in. There has not been a single stream I have joined here recently that did not discuss cock, gay sex, or sissy human pets. Look, it's not entirely my fault, okay? It's mostly Cybersmith's fault.
You love it. That's why.
Well, yes, it's only Cybersmith's fault why this server is gay for. Just Cybersmith's.
Yeah. Well, I know why I know Mavis loves it. I mean, Mavis like, this is so gay. Let me stay here and continue watching and participate in the community.
I think Cabal would be a very good fit for him.
Yeah.
So if I understand correctly, he was a streamer, but his friends decided to stop being his friends, so he stopped streaming.
Oh, that's sad.
Many such cases.
It is very sad, actually. Maybe he just needs a friend. Cybersmith, are you interested?
Yeah, Pug might be onto something here. Pug has responded to Zach and said, is this because you ran out of material, quote, on any other server I would be banned? Oh shit, out of ideas. Based Zach, or what is it? Fucking, what is his fucking name? Baked, not based. Zach. Right, is Zach. If you're trying to get banned, I'd like to see a bit more effort. The fact that you're being so respectful implies you just want some friends. There we go. I think that's a nice message. Would not anyone appreciate receiving such a pleasant message? I've just got into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, my commemorative message for a great achievement of the community. we got everyone did a ping at Baked Zach, and then after the ping, each one of them put the components of an N tower, but not just an N tower, an NF tower, and when they got them perfect.
I am so
N
proud
tower.
of this community.
And then Zach with the copy pasta, and then me with the equal so proud. Truly a fine moment in Cabal's history. I think, you know what? It's been a while, but I think that needs to go in culture.
Oh, definitely.
There you go.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. Speaking of cultured moments of Cabal history, we have a new sticker. Would you guys like to see it?
Sure.
Post in the
Do
live
tell.
chat.
Wasn't one made of baked Zact as well with the caveman brain? That one actually came in a lot better.
Oh, it's Falco sticker. I can't actually show that on stream directly because it's a sticker and Discord is determined to be shit. So what I can do is to just...
Well, we have the emote as well to go along with it. I enacted another update because one had received enough votes and there was nobody really saying not to get rid of it, so I went through
Zach
it.
or not? Maybe Zach or not? Maybe Baked Zach Alaska will help you with this.
Let's see what the progress on making him kitten is. He is in ninth, but very nearly in 8th.
Just 40 cents away.
Yes, we have this in both emote and sticker form.
For just 40 cents a day, you too can feed an Oozaloo Monster Energy drinks.
Yeah, see, Dai is too busy being Cabal's black dad to come and join us for drama.
True. UFC says, I love how Cabal is...
every single time?
Well, to be fair, she is currently at her job. Marvel Rivals Dailies. UFC says, I love how Cabal is slowly growing a small petting zoo of lolcows for stream content, and Dai is always too busy to enjoy it. Yes. You know what I might do? I might just
she
fucking...
went out for the Marvel-themed cigarettes and didn't come back.
Yeah. My temptation to just fucking call Dai it's never been higher. All right, I'm going to do it. Quattro and Ted, you're going to be at the biggest disadvantage here because everyone else will be able to hear, but you guys won't. There's not a lot I can do about that, sadly.
What a shame.
Guatu has just supported Baked Alaska, and that's got Baked Alaska up to number 7 on the board.
Nice. You love to see it.
All right, I'm going to call Dai and see what fucking happens. She's in game right now. She's getting a call. She's not picking up though. Oh, she didn't answer. I'll give it a moment. All right. Never mind then. Look, no one can say I didn't give her a fucking chance to join drama, okay?
Fine.
Right, we're back. Let me drag Ted back in as well. Yeah, no one can say I didn't give Dai an opportunity to join for drama. Thank you to Kieran, who has contributed via User Coins, a very generous amount. It says Baked Alaska because fuck it, we ball in, which has put Baked Alaska in 7th and fairly much closer to getting higher up the board. 8-Bit with a similar contribution for Tomboy Supremacy and Baked Alaska, which has put Baked Alaska even closer.
So,
At this rate,
Ginger, I
we
have
could
been
get him
told that
kitten
you.
this stream.
So, Ginger, I've been told that you today could make baked Alaska kitten. In case you're interested.
I believe Ginger has said before that he has enough to make anyone, or we've determined from what he said, that he has enough to make anyone kitten straight away, and that is still true as far as I know.
Mm.
Baked Hapslaska. Hapslaska? There you go. Because Habsburg.
Baked Habsburg.
Baked Gene Pool.
Actually, wait, hang on. I gotta do something. Give me a second.
Simon Smith, if you're too hot, just get a fan. I have 38 fans right here. Arguably 40 if you count
Ginger.
the hosts.
If
There
I may
we
make a
go.
personal
It's
request for you,
subtle.
can you please make him kitten for us so we can make him baked Alaska?
Ginger would not have to contribute all of his coins to make it happen. It would be...
Well, I've made a subtle but important change to my profile.
Baked Blackberg. It would be about, what is that, like 700? Maybe a bit more than that?
I will say this, though. He would be a lot better Fourth Reich leader than the current EU. Baked Alaska.
I haven't seen anything from Baked Alaska in many years. It's not necessarily the name I would have chosen for Baked Zach here. It's just the word association, and forcibly renaming him probably will bother him more.
He might look it up, though, which would give him a little more sneating.
Thank you, 8-Bit, for contributing further. That puts Baked Alaska even closer. Or does it? Yes, it does. Jackie says, please, sir, can you kitten Baked Alaska? Think about it this way, Ginger. It would also make it harder to make you kitten again, because it would be ahead of not only you, but also 8-Bit. Kieran says, didn't the real Baked Alaska go blind or something? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him for several years. Oh yeah, wasn't he involved in Jan 6th? Please, sir, just a crumb of kitten, says Abel. Raped ball, Zach.
We've got Baked Asian Zach now as well.
So let me give you the courtesy, in case you are interested, of showing you exactly how much it would cost. Yeah. So a fair amount. £850, which is 85,000 User coin, I think. 8-Bit says, I still uphold the contract we agreed. Make it rain. I can't remember what that contract was. Ginger hasn't said anything, so he might not actually be here. Chat, press 1 if you're just pretty sure that Ginger doesn't even have the coins. Maybe he was just joking or just lying to us, faking it.
A bluff, perhaps?
Yeah, must have been. Why are you not Uncle Zach yet? Asked of Busek. By the way, chat, just in case you weren't aware, because a certain Sicilian does keep saying it, Cabal's dying.
No, guys,
that's,
it's dying. Really. And even though we've had record numbers here, it's dying.
Yeah, no, it's it just can't last without the quality stream guests of Wes and Odar, who, as you know, have extremely popular content outputs of their own.
Don't worry, you have plenty of homosexuals to choose from. That
load-bearing pillars of the community that it's completely collapsed without them.
Cock-bearing, more like.
Oh, what's that? Not much has actually gotten worse. What's it? Nothing's gotten worse. Oh, huh.
Well, Karen, as you know, if you are demoted from level 3 online, you die in real life.
Yes. Kieran says, Wes is dying without Cabal is more accurate. What I have seen from their server is that they cope, mold, seethe, and dilate about Cabal pretty frequently. They have long text conversations about it in places that they think are well hidden.
Wes does, he's
I believe we
Ginger
have
with the big
a new
contribution. That's got
It's
him.
Clovey!
Oh, it is Clovey.
It's Clovey!
Agreed.
It is Clovey. If he hadn't mentioned Clovey in that contribution, Baked Alaska would be £47 away from being kitten. But because he did and boosted both of them, now Baked Alaska is £700
Can
away
you
from being
please just
kitten.
make her kitten real fast? Take a screenshot
Yeah,
of it
yeah,
before
yeah,
we
yeah.
get there. This is her birthday gift. So.
Okay. All right. She's also going to be renamed to Clovey, of course.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, 8-bit, it's your lucky day. We've got 8-bit in the chat here. 8-bit, what are your thoughts in this proud moment, 8-bit? Oh, fuck. Come on, fucking Discord.
Many
8-bit,
such cases.
8-bit, what are your thoughts in this proud moment?
Thank you, Ginger.
You've been freed from the kitten cage.
For the moment.
All right, then. So, Discord
Can you
kitten
guys
gone
ask if
from you.
Clovey want to come on to stream to ask her what she feels of this glorious achievement?
Baked Zach here says, is Clovey the short one? She sure fucking is. Yes.
I think Glossy wishes to be the kitten too at some point.
Usek says, the worst part was Odar could have actually not fucked himself and been popular if he didn't tie himself to Wes. Yes, he could. Ginger says, I did my
Is
part.
Clovey in a voice chat?
It's up to you to... Ooh, thank you, Scarab. Who says, I'm very sorry to hear all about how your server is on its last leg. Guess I'm just not very observant to notice it. Clovey, Baked Alaska, Marcusi, Charcusi, Cloptro. Ginger says, Ted, it's up to you to determine how long it takes Clovey remains kitten.
Well, I think as much as I would love her to be kitten forever, there is a far more appropriate person for the role, and that's Baked Alaska.
Indeed.
Plus, she's going to miss that hard R.
Ginger has just showed us how many user coins he has, and it's still a lot. He could still do basically that 2 or 3 more times. Please don't kitten Glossy. I'll have to deal with that IRL, says Kieran. This sounds like a brilliant opportunity, chat. This sounds like a brilliant opportunity to kitten Glossy. Atronach has gone to face Zach Trinock. Glossy says no. Glossy doesn't want to be kitten, chat, apparently. So
there's someone who probably would want it even less. And you know who that is? Matthias. He's had it too good for too long, hasn't he?
Matthias and Glossy would both be interesting options to try and make it.
In fact, we could perhaps even give them joint kittenship. Glossy Methusi.
Oh, because you ruined shit.
To put Glossy and Matthias in the sack together and hit them with the kitten stick. Never has such an inconceivable notion been conceived.
Damn, I'm good.
Yes, I've heard from various sources that I'm apparently going through an ego death. That's seemingly something that they've been saying over there. Ginger wants to remind everyone of this comic. Hey, you see that? You see Matthias over there? Fools! I am your god, says Ginger.
The Falcotard's still up.
Oh. Right. Apologies. Good thing that never
How
happens.
fucking dare you?
I blame Falco for this.
By the way,
was still in the way.
Here's the state of the houses. I should probably remove the... Oh, I need to fix that. That's overspanning, whatever. I need to fix the house icon, I think. I'll remove the house, the negative icon that's currently on Amuleth, especially because 8-bit isn't even kitten anymore. Spire is still in the lead, though. But that could be changed, if any of you guys want to. Kieran says, cheer negative 50,000 Spire. I'm afraid to say that doesn't actually work. Wow. For the first time in years, an item is within 1,000 pounds of tomboys and supremacy. Now, by the way, because we've got this new decay pattern, we're not doing the human pet thing anymore. It's way too close.
Even if
for
it's
that to be
baked
applicable.
Alaska. Even if it's baked Alaska.
I would consider it for that or for glossy, but no. Not just by default. I think we'd have to come up with some new special reason for that to be the case. Thank you, Born Gamer, for the generous contribution with no message, but thank you anyway. Glossy says, Kieran, if I get Make Kitten, I'm going to buy cat ears and go to the bookstore to spite you all.
You already know Glossy has cat ears.
Yeah, Glossy doesn't need to buy new cat ears. But that would probably
All
be
right.
quite funny.
I'm gonna get the ball rolling here.
Unfortunately, the dash does not make them the same thing. That will be two separate things.
Can we fix that in post, perhaps?
I would have to cheer for you, but because... Hold on, I'll do this. Because we know what you wanted, I will. So Glossy,
Thank you.
Methusi.
Why is he being so racist to you, 8-Ball? Does he not know that you are black and part of the protected class?
There we go. Cheer 400, Glossy Mathusi, stand-in cheer for Kloptro, who typed it wrong. Oh no, I mentioned Kloptro. Oh no, that's going to have boosted that on the board. Oh no, how could I?
Oh no. How could this have happened?
Why not Glossy? Says Baked Zach. I mean, that's an option. Glossy, how would you appreciate being forcefully renamed to Glossy and being given the kitten role? Glossus, I think just Glossy is funny. He hates both. I think it's time. I think it's time to to
And Glossy
Glossy.
Methusi up there.
Please, he says. Gushing Glossy.
Now that's a winner.
PH says, ego death is supposed to be a good thing, but Uzlu doesn't even have an ego that gets in the way of running things, so it doesn't make sense. Ego is a part of a person, it just shouldn't be overrepresented. You're saying that I don't have an ego? That's interesting. Can you help me to understand what that means? Because I have heard the term ego death, but I don't know what it means. And I was advised that it was a
Well, I don't think
worthwhile
what
reference
it
given the
means
current
really
context,
says
but I
that.
don't know why. Perhaps the person who advised me that can explain it. So I think Uzlu does have an ego. Ooh, really interesting. No one's ever said that before. Uzlu Enlightenment Challenge easily possible. Fucking, I dare you. Make it so. PH says, you do, it's just not out of control. That's, very few would be willing to say that. Zeman says, we all know that's just fake resistance from Glossy to entice Cybersmith more. Yeah, but it's funny. Kieran says, as your IRL friend, cheer 1000 Glossy for kitten. Glossy says, why?
Methusi. Come on, you could have get both of them at once.
Glossy, we know you enjoy it.
The gun that
Look, he's
Uzerlightenment
had it
has
too
as
good
well.
for too long, right? Needs to be reminded that even he isn't safe from being hit with the kitten stick. Even if it's just for a few minutes.
Cybersmith says, ego death can occur when a mind no longer thinks of itself as separate from anything else. What, like your solipsism? Certain forms of psychedelics can trigger this. Essentially, you completely release the psychic barrier. You mean psychological barriers?
I
protect
want
you
to
from the
point out
collective
our new
unconscious.
kitten
No.
is currently in voice chat, Uzlu, in case you want to drag her up here.
Oh, Clovey?
Yes.
Clovey, do you have any commentary on the fact that you are now kitten and also short?
Was it 4'11"? Remember what it was?
Yeah, I think it was 4'11".
5'1", thank you very much.
Never heard of a kitten being that tall?
Ha 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 ha.
Is that just your maximum
So are
jumping
you
height?
enjoying your new position in Cabal?
Oh, I'm just loving it. Loving it.
I knew you would. Happy birthday, by the way. It's a little late, but we got you there.
A little late, more than a little late, but thank you. But I want my R. I like my R.
Well, at the rate things are going, I'm sure Baked Alaska will replace you in due time.
It is certainly possible, yeah. Currently, a new member of the server is a big old lol cow who is called Baked Zach, and for some reason, Baked Alaska is the name people have used to mock him, that he'll be renamed to as Kitten, because it's a reference. He is currently in second place for Kitten, fourth place on the board overall, with a margin of almost £700, so it's quite a lot. But there are probably several people in here that could do it. Jado says 4'11" on stilts. Clovey, can you confirm?
I'm 5'1.5".
1 foot 5.5?
I'm not that short.
I don't know. What if we asked Josh if you're short? What do you think he would say?
Can you please put your husband on the phone?
He ain't anywhere around here at the moment.
Oh, when should he be back then?
Hell if I know.
Atronach is trying to ascertain what the fuck's going on. Good luck. This is where I was a couple of hours ago. I came in and just like there was way more people than usual in voice chat. Well, not way more, but more. So I thought that's unusual. What's happening? So I asked them, and they stuff something along the lines of a new lol cow has spawned. And he was just in comments. I don't know if he still is, actually. I'll check. He was just in comments doing
like
this copy pasta, calling us all pedos.
So,
apparently it's because of Ted's Dune clan had a conflict with his or something. Or just with him, actually.
Well, just for those to recap, his father and I, or grandfather, father, it's still not quite determined yet.
He has a Habsburg chin, so it could be both.
Exactly.
Probably.
We're discussing the prospects of either a clan merger or just a clan alliance between the two groups coming together for greater success. And his father, I would just love to emphasize, is a very mellow person. And but his son came in, and his son spurged in voice chat, then left voice chat. And so the alliance did not go through, but I am still hopeful that it can be salvaged. For I think Baked Alaska would be one of the greatest members Cabal has ever had, or most hilarious, I should say.
How long do you think it'll take him to notice when his name gets changed?
Pretty quickly, honestly. He's going to be spamming his copy paste for a while, I think.
I think he so far has not spelt the word "your" correctly once. The closest he's got is missing the apostrophe.
He is German, after all, probably not his first language.
Oh, no. All right. Baked
Row
Zach,
away.
can you explain the Habsburg kin? Is your father and grandfather the same person? Are your? Is this normal for Germans? Let's see what he responds to that. Explain your Habsburg changes to make that clear. Were the Habsburgs, were they German or were they Austrian?
I mean, one and the same, depending on who you ask.
I guess
I
so,
believe
depending
they
on the
were
type of history.
German?
Let's see if he responds to that. Who's Baked Asian Zach? Which one of you is actually just outing yourself as Asian
Odysseus.
right now? Odysseus, okay. I've been pinged in live chat. New lolcow has joined the Cabal petting zoo. Yeah. Oh, Die says ban him. So Die is able to alt-tab out of a game for 5 seconds to say ban him.
Oh my god.
Call Die, she replied in chat. She's got no excuse now.
Just make sure you make him
Austro-Hungarian, okay.
kitten first before you do that.
The Habsburgs originated from Baden country. So modern German, but they weren't German necessarily at the time. Someone just says to the request to ban him, he says, no, that's censorship. If we ban people, we are no better than Chinamen. Honestly, Die's Dai and other people's attitude of just banning people who are objectionable. With Falco, I get it because there's very little value to be extracted there, even as a negative example. But even with people like Frank and a few others, as a negative example, they're actually valuable as a source of amusement and lol cow tipping. This guy, it's unquestionable that it's advantageous to keep him around. This is where the impulse to just, he's, doing these bad things, ban him. That's where that impulse is just misfiring.
That is only insofar until he decides to start reporting.
Yeah.
We still don't quite know for sure. But if people start getting hit, then yeah, we'll know.
Yeah. I mean, Parry should protect most people. The way that Discord reports work, Parry should protect almost every case. Yeah, we will eventually cover the story of Gavin Newsom being upset that his foreign illegal immigrant slaves can no longer pick marijuana in his state. On brand for us. Yes, just so you know, this stream might never get to news. It might just be community, and I'm okay with that. I started
this a psyop to stop us from talking about Epstein and Donald Trump's crash out?
What you mean, like I did last stream? No, the only new thing we cover about that is that he did a long ass truth post where he was essentially reeing that just drop it. Yeah,
guys, please stop talking about Epstein.
This is the thing that I disagree with and criticize Trump on the most out of anything. It's a real disappointment.
This is quite possibly the worst optics he could have gotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably the worst play Donald Trump has made in his whole entire career, potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Cybersphere says, ooh, if we are discussing news, may I join the hosticles? Don't get your hopes up yet. We haven't started discussing news. Well, we have kind of, but what desk? But we haven't necessarily got into it yet. Yeah, I just want to remind you all that whilst many of the criticisms of Trump and his people are true in this case, the perception that of what Pam said being a lie or a contradiction isn't fair. It was poorly communicated, but I don't believe she ever said that she had a list of the blackmail targets. What she said was she had the documents that have actually been released. Now, it was she could have been much more clear about that. So I kind of understand the jokes about it, but it's not quite true that she said she had the blackmail material and then later said she didn't. That's not true. Maybe that's what she wanted people to believe. Maybe she is lying, but I don't think that's necessary to explain it. Gab says, has Zulu gone full Juzaloo and taken money to push the Epstein trafficked kids no one and also killed himself narrative? No, Scar, we discussed this last time. I have criticized Trump completely on this. No one is saying that Epstein didn't traffic kids. They're saying that that the US government does not have evidence that he blackmailed anyone. Not saying he didn't, just that they don't have evidence of it. They never did, which is perfectly plausible, by the way.
They're able to catch all the evil and dangerous January 6ers, but not one single client of Epstein.
Yeah, see that's the issue. Is even if they don't have the evidence, they should fucking pursue it. That's really with this situation. As I said last time, the only thing left that I think is actually worth criticizing here is that if we assume the best, that they're not lying to us, the only thing left to criticize is Trump pretending it's not worth pursuing. Like this is potentially the world's pedophile ring, using pedophilia to control world politics and culture for decades. And he's like, I think it's not important. That's fucking suspicious. It is the most suspicious thing Trump has ever done. I've never thought that he was compromised, except a bit on Israel, but it's mostly his genuine opinion until that moment. That's the first thing where I thought he's probably compromised on that.
Back in the day, the Bohemian Grove just had gay sex with each other, but unfortunately our society has become a lot more degenerate since then.
Baked McZack says, it's so clear why the field loved Gavin Newsom so much. His name means marijuana field, and Newsom is protecting his child slave illegals. It all makes sense now. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
You guys should ask him about that. How does he feel about child labor growing his marijuana?
Glossy, what do you reckon about me having this up on the stream?
I guess I was a little bit too preemptive on pulling the trigger or getting the thing edited, huh? It really should have been Glissy Methussy.
Maybe, yeah. You get Glossy a little collar with a little bell, says Cybersmith. Oh dear. Chat, personally, I think we should play into this weird fetish. I mean, I think we should embarrass Glossy and and Kieran. Look, mostly it would just embarrass Kieran, okay? Arcturus says the sad part about the whole Epstein list fiasco is that it will probably be shelved and never returned to. Unfortunately, that's probably true, but that's kind of like, you should expect that. They're very powerful people that we're dealing with using pedophilia to keep their crimes quiet. Unfortunately, that should always have been the default assumption. I'm still very happy about everything else Trump is doing. And even if it gets shelved and fucking abandoned and we're all very fucking aggrieved that Trump does not solve this problem, he's still solving a lot of other problems, so it's still good, but more work definitely is needed. Now, Ren, no one's saying Epstein and Ghislaine didn't do anything wrong. Well, actually, one person is, which interesting theory we covered last time, that the women were actually never underage, that they were just lying about it. Interesting idea. I don't think it's true, though, but Epstein and Maxwell, they definitely did things wrong. There's plenty of evidence of that. It's just that the US government doesn't have any evidence that they were actually blackmailing people. They never had documents on that. And again, as I said last time, that's to be expected, considering that evidence probably got destroyed by the very powerful people who not only are powerful enough, they probably have authority over the US government in some cases, but also they had 4 years with power over the US government because Biden was in power, who we assume is connected to that ring. He probably is. So it's very possible that the US government never actually had any evidence of blackmail from Epstein, but that he was still doing it with Mossad's help. And what I said was the way he was caught with mountains of child porn, which to me seems like he's been let loose. Atronach says, go back to trolling leftoid, I just caught up on my reading. Oh, you're a little late, unfortunately. Why the fuck were the Prince Andrew charges dropped? Asked John. The same reason as a lot of the other stuff around this has been dropped, because people who are involved are too powerful. Dog says, people with authority over your government need to be in the sea permanently unless they are the voters. Yeah, I mostly agree with that. That authority needs to be broken, for sure. If I recall, James Comey did admit he superseded the constitutional principles to spy on Trump. I can't remember that, but I wouldn't be surprised. This time I had to die curse, etc. Well, she's not fucking here. She's missed the drama as well. Off doing her fucking job, playing rivals.
Can someone ask Ronald's permission for her to come join us?
No worries, Arcturus. Thank you. So let's see if Zach is still going in Commons. I've got another post in Hall of Fame. I just got 2 in a row.
Nice.
My post saying I hear a Twitch streamer want to come on my stream and we can chat, which was the first I had put in the comments about me doing a stream about this. So I guess people were interested in that. 2 in a row, chat. Man, I'm really popular in my own server. The fuck?
Could have seen that coming.
What a shock.
Okay, so to my various questions to Habsburg Zach, can you explain your Habsburg chin? Are your father and grandfather the same person? Is this normal for Germans? He just said, yeah, dash, and then nothing. Like he was starting to type an answer and then just gave up. And then it went back to his copy pastoring. I guess he's just not brave enough to answer my questions. Disappointing cowardice on display. Yeah. Zach.
This would be a great opportunity for him to argue his case.
It would.
Like, he could own all the rightoids right now.
Do you think he's actually leftist? Like, is his the other person you were talking to, his family?
Oh,
his ancestor?
He is a
leftist.
His father, grandfather, or grandfather. His politics are probably rather, I just want to I just want a barbecue for God's sakes. But he is definitely a leftist, without a doubt.
Interesting.
I don't think his father is political, one way or the other. I think he's just an older guy who just wants to have a family and bake some Alaska.
That's interesting data, Pug, on the jurors. FBI launches criminal probe into James Comey. Okay, that's the thing you mentioned. He changed his tune when the LGBT tag came out. So leftist. I see. See, Jackie, perhaps that's why we need you. You're our man or whatever on the inside. Zake's back says, Uzo, I want to hear Cybersmith's crazy conspiracy, bring him on. I don't know if I have the energy to to deal with that shit. Someone give me a screenshot of this dude. What does he look like? Says Zatranok. He's in Commons.
Have you considered calling Mach to give you some energy drinks?
She's not here currently. He's the one person with the profile picture that everyone in audience currently has who is a white name. That's the one you're looking for, Atronach. Says, I promise this is not insane. Chat, press 1 if you reckon that what Cybersmith promises is not insane is insane. Glossy is continuing to basically beg for kitten. Atronach says, I mean, his actual face, that's not actually him. It is. We fucking... What's this? What's this, Atronach? Look at this Habsburgian motherfucker here in the bottom left. That's him. That's him playing League. Now you know all you need to know about him.
Oh my god.
Glossy, what is this picture? Is
no.
that you, Glossy? What is wrong with your everything?
Please stop trying to tempt me.
What the fuck?
What?
Glossy, what the fuck is this? Explain this picture, Glossy. Explain it now. Yes, Atronach, he's a League and a Valorant player as well. Cybersmith responded to this picture with nice. No, Cybersmith, not nice. Glossy, can you explain this picture, please? Cybersmith and Glossy are doing some homosexual flirting in chat. Glossy says he's not
sure
a cat. Glossy, are you
up on the board?
Glossy, you're a rabbit. Chat, do we think Glossy deserves the the rabbit role for this? So, Glossy, is this you IRL? Why have you done a face reveal? There's no fucking way now. He's just admitted that's an IRL. Why have you done this? Why have you revealed this?
Is that a Cabal symbol tattooed on their chest?
I don't think so. Chat, press 1 if this thing looks like it smells bad all the time. Glossy doesn't think it does. It looks like a gayer Linus Tech Tips. Oh god, it kind of does. The crazy thing is, Linus has earrings as a male. So he should be gay, but he's married. And has children.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Perhaps he enjoys being dated.
Has just seen what is being posted here. Yep.
What is that?
That is Glossy.
Marcus?
Oh, that's Glossy.
There's one thing I've noticed that femboys and women have in common is they both love attention.
So, chat, Glossy wants to be Cabal's rabbit. So make Glossy Cabal's kitten instead. Atronach says, when it comes to earrings, left is right, right is gay, both is uber gay. I don't I
I'm
don't
pretty
know if
sure
that's how it
any
works.
earrings in a man
Yeah,
is
I'm
gay.
pretty sure any earrings. Just gay. Kieran says Tom Cruise is married with children and he's gayer than Sin. Is he?
The last time that men wore earrings, unironically, was in the 80s, and the 80s was extremely gay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so apparently there is a suspicion that the glossy face reveal is going to end up in the Hall of Fame. It is quite possible. Kieran says, remember, it's Cheer 500 glossy, folks. Yes, it is.
Well, no, we can do better because
Glossy Mathusi. Unfortunately, the difference between the two, they're not helping each other.
I know. I'm doing my best.
You can put multiple topics, so you could put both. April says that's what he looks like. To be fair, this is pretty much what I expected. Like, I don't want to draw your attention towards what we're looking at here, chat, but this is not the shape a breast is supposed to be. What the fuck is going on here? What have you stuffed it with? You had all the time in the world to stuff it with something that looks like a breast. Why did you stuff it with something that's so misshapen? No, glossy. The word real does not apply to your quote-unquote boobs. What have you stuffed it with? He's on HRT. Well, then I'm sorry, but don't, because it's not working. It's produced this misshapen lump. It looks like a fucking tumor.
Drugs, not even once.
Eric says that looks like the rest of the shirt rolled up. 6 years. Did he say it? He's been on HRT for 6 years. Why? Dude, I'm sorry. I understand that you're into, like, you want to be the bottomliest bottom that's ever been seen, but the HRT is not helping. It's just not working. Like, just be a gay dude.
Zach Trenach, are you trying to compete with me?
Is Glossy a Wes plant? Just here to try the best for this, Cisco. If it is, then it's going about as well as all of Wes's other operations in that it's only benefiting us. Abel says you could just be a gay bottom. Those are real. You can meet them. Jackie says, I am not on HRT and I have bigger boobs. What the fuck? What do you use for stuffing, Jackie? Is that something, some sort of advice you can give to Glussy? Doorstop butt plug. Unique anal plug.
Oh no.
Abel says, I am not on HRT and I could steal boobs better than that right now. Glossy said, I just took a quick
Zach wants
selfie,
to know
dang.
the comments that he's talking about us, by the way.
Who is, sorry?
The original Zach.
Is he talking about us? Let's have a look.
That's what he said.
He says, cowards hide their faces like y'all. Nigga, I am on camera right now.
You should let him know that and to debate you. This is his opportunity to own the right. I mean, I would even leave the floor to make it a fair fight. Just you and him, one-on-one.
Uh-oh. Hug has linked information, which we'll look at later. We probably won't get to any politics today, but it implies that Trump might be about to ramp up operations in Ukraine. That would be disappointing. Actually, did not mean to play that, but it's very appropriate in this situation.
Amazing. It's that meme magic acting again.
Yes. He didn't type for a while. Oh, okay. So someone has told him that I'm literally zooming his face. He says he's talking about us in general. All right. Well,
it seems like Wick would like to debate him as well.
Yeah. Well, too fucking bad. To be honest, given your Habsburg chin, you probably should hide your face. Does incest run in your family, or is it too deformed to run?
With all those club feet, yeah. The Habsburg chin so strong you could plow a field with it.
Not one of Gavin Newsom's fields, though. That requires illegals only.
Yeah.
Apparently, those comments have received quite a lot of approval from the community. They're trying to get me into the Hall of Fame 3 times in a row. Eight Ball wouldn't call me his buddy. Why not, 8 Ball? Come on. We're best buddies. I'm your bud, friend. I'm your guy, buddy. No worries, 8-Bit. No worries. Jackie says, my body runs at about the same hormone mix as a 17-year-old female. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, because I assume you're male. Bug says, don't worry, I was just trying to red pill.
In Jackie's case, unfortunately, life did deal him, her, or somewhere in between a bad hand.
If they're intersex, then yeah, that is what's known as a bad hand. And at that point, kind of open to you using different expressions, but you should probably still use the one that is the most aesthetically similar to what you actually look like. Otherwise, just for your own benefit, otherwise you will, I'm afraid to say, look like a freak. I'm not saying you do, Jackie, but it's prime example. Fucking, you look like a soy male, a low T male. Giving yourself tits just makes you look like a low T male physical freak. I'm sorry to be mean about that, but someone has to tell you. You're not doing yourself any favors, Glossy. Yes, Usa Throne. It's true. It exists. Though that screenshot has been lightly molested. Ren says you could pass as a male. If you restructured a bit, then yeah, there's no reason you could not simply live as a male. I mean, do people actually treat you as female because you don't look female? IRL, yes. Well, okay, this is not how you must look IRL then. Because if they treat you as female, is it because they believe they have to for ideological reasons, or is it because you actually genuinely pass? Because this selfie, you do not pass in this selfie. Yeah, okay, it's a quick selfie. You're the first tranny I've ever met who isn't super concerned about controlling their appearance, the way they're perceived online, and every photo they release has to be from a specific angle with specific makeup and whatnot. It's one of the ways of identifying a tranny. You are the first one I've identified, I think, who doesn't do that. My question is, why? Because it's actually a good idea. If you want to try to give people the impression that you're not just a weird degenerate, you probably should control how your appearance is perceived online. You've sent us a picture now, so you're willing to do it. Send us a picture of you where you actually pass, in your opinion, and we'll see. Someone says, wait, who's the faggot on the screen? I stepped away for a few minutes. That is Glussy. Well, he's not called Glussy yet, but he might be. Glussy says, I'm wearing ears and look retarded. Yes.
This is your reminder to get Glussy Mathussy up on the board.
This is cheered one for Glussy. Glussy says, I don't really pass. Okay, well, you just said you did. You said you're treated as female. If you don't pass, but you're treated as female, then it's ideological. Or it's just them being polite. But unfortunately...
It's probably later.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fair enough. But I would consider it to be a more long-term polite to just tell you, just be honest with you, rather than just ignoring it. Well, this is people being polite. I'm okay being called a boy. Well, then why are you on HRT? Why have you given yourself these breasts that look like you've stuffed your chest with tiny socks? They have body issues. Well, okay, but if you don't mind being referred to as male, then get off HRT? Like, what benefit is it giving you?
As an expert in this field, there are two main types of transgendered. You have the ones who have a condition very similar to anorexia, which is a body dysmorphic condition, which is what Glossy has. And it's a very difficult condition to deal with, unfortunately.
It does seem like, yeah, as Ren says, this would, not necessarily in terms of perception, but this would just give you more body issues. I know you didn't choose to have it, but like, and I know I don't have any experience with it, obviously, but it seems to me like it would be easier to live your life ignoring it than all this. Because when
it is very so. Go ahead.
Go on. No, go on, Ted.
When you acknowledge that it's very similar to anorexia, it is a difficult condition to treat. It would be in their best interest to stop doing body destruction as an anorexic would. And I do encourage Glossy to stop doing HRT and try to have more body acceptance. Like, it's okay to be a feminine guy if you are one. I mean, you can't really help that.
If you are one, you can't really help it. You know, be what you are. Yeah. Be the best you that you can be.
Not every man could be a Chad Thundercock.
Yeah, it is a shame that that's restricted to all of you, but you know, some of us are just capable. Triple says it's not the worst Troon I've seen. No, the worst Troon I've seen is Duncan.
Not Frank?
I haven't seen Frank in real life.
There you go.
Yes, I know. Glossy, it's not getting better. Why? All you've done there is that is just Linus wearing weird clothes. Well, that's not that weird.
Glossy has a mission here. He is looking for a new boyfriend, and who is Cybersmith. This is what who it's for.
Glossy, it's not getting better. What you've done is hid your face. You don't look fit. You just look. You look really bony. Maybe
I cannot approve Agent Ice's second point there, but it would be better than destroying your body with drugs.
Yeah. Indeed, PH. Do I dare share some of my pictures as Black Tier? Go for it. I mean, you're trying to get your name and face out there, Black Tier.
So, Uzulu, what inspired you to start a LGBT server?
Look, I say free speech and we get some interesting people, okay? That's fine by me. By the way, chat, speaking of which, I never encourage this because it's paying Discord money, but we ran out of enough server boosts to continue using the server tag for some reason. I think you've got to have 3 like available server tags, and we only have 1 currently. So if you want the server tags back, which I think are pretty cool, and they probably help to get people into the server as well, we'd need 2 more boosts. I think we can then enable them. But when I first enabled them, it cost 3 boosts. Like, it removed 3 boosts. And now it says enable for 3 boosts, right? Okay, so that implies that when you have 3, it doesn't remove them, it just requires 3. Okay, fine. But then the other bonus that you can get from boosts, which is the stylized rolls, also says enable for 3. So Discord, once again, being incredibly fucking unclear, but I think what might have happened is that because we dropped below 3 boosts once, we now have to spend 3 to get server tags again, which is really fucking annoying. And if that's the case, we're going to have to be careful not to fall below 3 again in future if we want to keep server tags. The server tag, for those that don't know, is that little DABL, which is on your, which can go on your name, which is per server, and which displays in other servers as well. Arcturus says your jawline makes you not pass. I mean, that's where it starts. Yeah, there's other issues with it too. What about the server? Stop being gay. Yes, agreed. Glossy says that they booked facial surgery. Glossy, again, like, how much does that cost? I figure that the mental cost of just ignoring these issues is less than the resultant cost of doing all the things you're doing to try and deal with them. Surely. Surely it's less. UFC says Cabal isn't gay, it's libertarian, which is a far worse crime. The politics of Cabal span a fair way across the compass. There's more people here that are on the marginally on the left side of the spectrum than you would think, depending on what tool you use to assess that, of course. But it spans the compass fairly well, and I think libertarianism, pure libertarianism, is kind of cringe because it's too principled. It doesn't have the necessary pragmatism of reality. But I think most people here understand that. There's very few here that are just pure libertarian. But libertarian would be the greatest tendency.
So, Blackdeer, please don't take this the wrong way, but you have a much better chin than Baked Alaska.
Well, yeah, that's not hard. Glossy says 38k. Are you spending £38,000 for chin surgery? Wouldn't you rather have that money? Like you could just buy bitches with that money, and then you wouldn't have body issues anymore. You could just buy approval of your body, and people would compliment it, and that can offset the body issues. That's an absurd amount of money. What?
You
Why
could
would
buy
you spend
a
that
Porsche
much?
Boxster for that kind of money.
You could buy what? Sorry.
You could buy a Porsche Boxster for that kind of money.
Yeah, why the hell are you spending that much? Facial feminization surgery. Don't get surgery. Don't fucking damage yourself.
Don't hack bits off yourself.
Yeah. Like you've not been blessed
Be like Frank.
body-wise, but don't make it worse, dude. Buy something useful. Surgery. Triple, despite being a woman, is giving very good manly advice. Triple says, Glossy, just buy a sweet longsword and swing it around with that kind of money. Much better therapy than surgery. Yeah, I would agree.
Damn right.
If I may respond to JP here, the issue with libertarianism is the only value they have is individual liberty and freedom, and because of that, they don't really have the capacity to combat evil.
There's some truth to that. You don't have to tend more towards authoritarian in order to be able to enforce the NAP in your own way, and libertarians are able to. However, what I'd say is that in terms of collectively combating evil, libertarians are not well suited. So that's where I'd agree. Yeah, Cybersmith, I disagree with your conclusion. But I have been saying for years as well that libertarianism is a starting point for the design of any society or worldview, and then you modify it from there as pragmatism demands. Yes, libertarianism is a good foundation, as you say.
Blacktear, you should give Baked Alaska some grooming tips. Well, with beards, obviously, so that way his cleft chin is less noticeable.
Dog with the cat ear headset. Chat, let's make sure that he can't forget that he's posted this. Kieran's joining the face reveal craze and just posting. Oh yes, no, that's him with the special mask he wears. Yeah, Glossy has indeed reached the Hall of Fame with his fucking selfie because of the vomit reacts.
Glossy, you are, I would say, probably a little underweight, not a cow.
Do you have anorexia as well, Glossy? Because yeah, you're definitely underweight.
Perhaps Cybersmith could stuff you up a little bit.
Zach is putting in an awful lot of effort for nothing in return. He's still going in Commons. Cybersmith says, how do you identify Uzu Republican, Libertarian, Nationalist? I haven't for several years sort of had a thought about what name I would use. But in terms of my politics, I'm kind of exactly halfway between Libertarian and like a little bit towards Libertarian on the up-down, Libertarian Authoritarian, but pretty much at the middle. And then right-left, depending on which test you use, I'm a little right of center these days. But I'm still pretty much a centrist. Libertarian tending, libertarian in terms of libertarian, socially libertarian, and fiscally libertarian tending centrist. But of course, relevant to today, nationalist, which is very important. But that's shouldn't even be controversial. I'm not in favor of. I'm not ultra nationalist. I'm not in the sense of Nazis. I'm not in the sense of authoritarianism. In terms of state worship. Just in terms of, nations are a useful structure. They should be prioritized with strong borders. And of course, classical liberal is still very much an apt description of me. Bossy says their BMI is perfect. Well, if you think that, then you're probably not anorexic. But no, you look underweight to me. Eric says, petition to have posts in the Hall of Fame eligible for the Hall of Fame. The only reason I wouldn't do that is because I'd have to do quite a lot of modification to the system, both in terms of where it picks, like how it picks up posts, because currently I think it ignores bot posts, but also how it renders the post, because if it tries to replicate a message which is itself a replication of another message, it will probably break stuff. So I would need to amend that. I think I'll leave it for now, but it's an interesting idea. Cybersmith is suggesting chemical modification to glossy so that he lactates. Mate, I don't know if that works. I don't want to know if that works, but I hope it doesn't. Kieran says, Oozlu is a libertarian fascist. Do what you want or else. I mean, no, but Cybersmith, that is probably the worst picture of you I've ever seen, Cybersmith. Why have you posted this? There we go. Yeah, that is probably the worst picture of you I've ever seen. You look fucking bewildered. You look like a deer in headlights. You've just been hit with the fucking paralysis arrow in Skyrim. You've just had your fucking plug type tail pulled out. This is the moment, the captured moment. 1 millisecond after your tail butt plug has just been wrenched hard out. And that's a completely plausible situation with you, Cybersmith. Why do you look like that? Yeah, Abel. Cybersmith, when he realizes that his fart came out a liquid. That's the face. That's it. That's the face. When he realized
that Cybussy do squirt.
Oh no! Cybersmith, can you confirm that your Cybussy do squirt? That's gross, says Cybersmith. Yes, we did it! We finally did it! We grossed out Cybersmith. All of the fucking mutilation stuff that he talks about regularly, even when it's completely unrelated to the conversation. That's fine. But the idea that he could shart, that's too far.
This has been a very strange day in Cabal.
This has been a very strange day in Cabal, but I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it greatly.
You're welcome, by
cut this
the way.
man's Achilles
For
tendon.
50% of it.
All right, let's have a look at the
day.
Charcusi is very small amount behind Marcusi as well.
Back up on there, damn.
How did Marcusi get over Charcusi?
Say again,
if we get Charcusi and Kloptro at once, what would we name him? If he's like number 3, number 4.
That's a good point, actually. It would just be the highest one, I think.
We could try to combine them.
Betalaska is getting closer, Zarkturus. It is getting a little closer, yeah. But Clovey is still Kitten, but we can make Zach Kitten still. I mean, he's still in common spamming. I think it would still be funny to rename him and to give him the Kitten role. It would be his only role. So it's definitely possible. He's currently at 69k User coins behind Kitten. It's not insurmountable for a community effort to get Betalaska here to Kitten. Eric says there is another option. The curse. The curse could also do it, yeah.
True.
£25 to change the name and icon of the curse role in the server, and £25 to move the curse to someone. And you can pay for both or either, and I will allow that to be done today with User coins. I still think we need to make Glossy Kitten, and it's true that. Oh wow! Thank you, Scarab, for the £200 equivalent Uzicon contribution for Baked Alaska, Chakusi, and Kloptro, which will all have moved up the board somewhat. Actually, they haven't moved up in position, but the amount contributed that has in fact counted. Baked Alaska is now 482 behind Clovey. It's definitely still possible. Blacktear still just posting selfies. you keep it up, Blacktear. No one's trying to stop you. Kloptro is 9th.
Would someone ask him for me, since he has me blocked, what his thoughts on socialism is to the original Bake?
He has not responded to anything genuinely. He's always avoided discussion, unfortunately. So I don't think anyone would be able to get that.
It's a very common leftist tactic to actually avoid conversating because they know they don't have any actual arguments. And so what he is using is toxic feminine conflict strategies.
Sure, you could call it that.
You know, it's interesting. I was discussing debate tactics with a few of the guys last night, and I brought up Schopenhauer's book on the art of being right. I don't know if any of you guys have read it, but it outlines all of the worst tactics that you can use to win a debate. And once you know them, you can always spot them instantly.
Yeah.
And typically, they're often applied multiple at the same time.
Yeah. Welcome back, Ginger. So, chat, as far as I'm concerned, we have multiple projects today. I think usually people would be more interested in the opportunity to try and get Matthias Kitten, which Quattro has been trying to do, because he's not here, and because of the new decay pattern, which I think is way better for the community in general, but not as good for Matthias, something I'm willing to talk to him about if he thinks it should be amended. But currently, you could probably get him Kitten. If you wanted to.
Mathusi up there, you get both of them at the same time. It's a 2-for-1 special.
That would work. Glussy Mathusi. And there's also, of course, Glussy as Kitten, because that would upset Glossy and Kieran. Ginger says to skip Matthias his own board, job's done. Yeah. I hate Glussy, I hate it, he says. Well, you know what? We fucking hate these pictures that you were posting, so let's Glussy it up. Really hate it, he says. So that's another option. Glussy is not even in the top 10 yet. There is also Baked Alaska, Baked Zach, trying to get him Kitten and rename him. That's only £500 off being the case. And then there is also the potential for putting the curse on Baked Zach, because he's still in Commons posting his whatever you call it, copy pasta. It is interesting though that he's not actually spamming. Obviously he's spamming in a sense. He's repeating the message frequently, but he's not spamming enough to get banned, which is interesting. It's almost like he doesn't want to be banned. We're just like a woman, says Arcturus. You could be talking about several people there when you say that. There's several people that it could apply to. Blacktear's still going. Any excuse, say Blacktear. All right, he's still going. He's still posting his same messages. Damn, he was way more fun earlier. He's so okay. The U says, why are you unwilling or unable to defend your positions? That seems dense to me. Zach says, because I was invited here from a gaming community. I didn't come here to argue with anybody, but since there's degens here, it feels right to remind you that. And then the copy pass through again. Thank you, Scarab, who's supported Kloptro, Glussy Mathusi, and Glussy. There you go.
You know, if it means I gotta get back up on the board to do this, sure. I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking do it again. Yuck.
Zach says, dude, you know how me and my pops, a word conveniently that could be used for both a grandfather and a father, are to non-degens. You were cool with me even after you got wiped by us. Not my dad, but still. I guess that's in the game. But Non-degen. Is he saying that Ted is a non-degen and the rest of the server are degens? Is that what he's actually saying?
Well, he is a leftist and delusional.
A little bit. He was cool to you, so you blocked him. Yeah, that's a good point. Unblock me and actually act like a decent human being. Did he unblock you? I mean, you didn't say anything negative about me until now. Before you
Not
wanted
yet.
my group in your shit guild, he says. Not going to take any time to unblock you, no. Even though he is reading your messages.
It is a very strange thing to block someone and then
Hmm.
also then take the extra effort to look at everything they say. It's a little silly.
Let's just keep it simple. Bro, why are you so mad? Because he really does seem mad. Yeah, exactly, April. When I clicked the block message button so I can read everything the guy I specifically blocked so I couldn't see him says. Yeah.
I have to step away for a moment, but I'll be right back.
All right. He doesn't understand that if he joined in here, yeah, there'd be some ribbing and some mockery, but we could actually have a reasonable conversation as well. Bob Troy, number 8, says Kieran. Yes, he is. John Wick says, Blacktail looks like a gayer Monarch from Venture Brothers. I mean, yeah, he kind of looks a bit like Monarch. You should do a cosplay, Quattro. Not Quattro, sorry, Blacktail. I don't know why I said Quattro. But no, it's hard to be gayer than the Monarch from Venture Brothers. Or from politics. Yes, Ginger. I believe that was your profile picture when you first joined Cabal. Blacktail, in that picture where you're holding the glass, you look like Linus Tech Tips with with a sharper chin. Why have we had 2 Linus lookalikes in the same stream? Yes, ribbed for pleasure, Skog, indeed. I didn't play Soul Reaver Zero Stark 13, no. I may have heard of it, though. Cybersphere says, we'd respect Baked Zach more if he joined chat. As I said earlier, he might learn something. Quite. Common Cyberswift W. Venture Brothers was pretty good. I'd be willing to put that on for chat again. Everyone is Linus Tech Tips, is Ren. Oh god, he's spreading. Yeah, was it, Ren, was it Anthony? Was that the guy's name? No, Cybersmith. He's not saying you tuned out. He's saying that Anthony from Linus Tech Tips tuned out and that you look like him, which I don't know if you look like him, but he did tune out. Arturo says, it did come up earlier to watch the classic Heat. I haven't heard of that, I don't think. I would tend to put on shows that I have heard of and like and seen myself, but other people can put on other shows. I've considered a sort of Big Brother program for new members. We assign an existing member of at least level 1 to all white names. In this case, Cyberspace is the natural choice. I mean, you could do that anyway. Like, if you want some official functionality to that, then let me know what official functionality it would need, and that's the thing we could add. But unofficially, that can already be done. So, chat, do you reckon that the new state of the board is better? The decay rate will bring things closer much faster. And as you can see, like already, Tomboys and Supremacy are way closer, way more accessible. All right. Cybersmith has said nothing, almost nothing since he's been here, except that it's too hot. He's been spamming it as much as Base Zach has been spamming his line. Cybersmith, have you, like, yeah, we don't have AC in the UK, because why would we need it? We need it like for 2 weeks of a year, but why not just get a fan? You don't actually need to have a cold shower to fix the problem. It was so warm you fucking melted chocolate all over your fucking keyboard. Thank you, Kieran. Kieran says, Tomboy Supremacy, hat, Gotham, decline, totally reverse. Totally. Let me show you how fast Tomboys is currently decaying because of how high up it is. Decay per day, 157. That's pounds. Quite a lot. Eric says, quit lusting over tradies, you'll cool down naturally. Under desk fan's an interesting idea. I just have mine on the desk. I have it on right now. I don't know if you can hear it. Zaked back says Uzlu hates tomboys confirmed. That is the least true thing that possibly has ever been said. But I think it was just a bit too far before. It was at 34. It was at 30, almost 38,000 pounds before. So it was a bit much. But if you think I'm trying to undermine Tomboy's chat, then you can fix that by contributing and mentioning Tomboys in your contribution. By the way, the Cabal Aid system, the leaders system, which there are some nice things about it. There are some things I want to keep and keep using. But this is kind of being retired for now. I'm going to scrap it, rebuild it in a new form. I do have some ideas about how to change it, but like it does need a bit of redesign, I think. But there's even the way the table is displayed here, I think I prefer to the TP table. But the code for the TP system is so fucking messy. It's been really difficult to modify it, really painful to modify anything with it. And every time I restart, it's a 1 in 10 chance it just gets a race condition at the beginning of the program because it does everything. It's the entire Uzabot race condition and just fails to start up and I have to restart it again. And it's really bulky as well. So it's really awkward to work with, which is why I'm building a new one. But at this point, to be honest, I kind of like the old TP system. Like there's a lot of things wrong with it that I probably fix with some small design tweaks, but I might just make something that's very similar to the old TP system just so I can, continue improving it rather than trying to completely reinvent it because it just so happens to be quite good on its own by pure sheer chance. Who does that look like, Ginger? I feel like I recognize it as some cartoon character.
Well,
I
looks like me.
Yes, I recognize it as being you. Yes, I have met you in person after all. Nah, Dankular's not the one I'm thinking of. So news or politics, says Cybersmith? Why would you assume that, that we have time for that in this stream? Community stuff is always more appealing to people anyway. Zaked back says, chat is Cabal a guild? Technically, Discord classifies what we call servers as guilds in the back end. That's their official name.
And we do have a Dune guild, and apparently we're currently at war with Zach's guild.
So you could call it a guild, yes. There's a free speech in the marketplace of ideas. If you want to use your free speech being an arse, you can. If you have ideas for the market, present them. Exactly. Zach says, y'all are too far, once again, replying to the person he's blocked. Y'all are too far gone, pedos, racists, dogfuckers. 3 claims for which he has no evidence. Unless he means Wick. But he hasn't actually seen the evidence that Wick, that Wick may be a pedo. Yeah. Zach believes that he is having a big effect here. But he has been putting in the effort of posting these messages frequently throughout the entire day, responding to people. And we've put in no effort that hasn't been self-rewarding. This has just been funny. So I believe in this case, he is the one getting trolled, but because he thinks he's the one doing the trolling, he's just automatically putting in all the effort himself. By the way, an interesting clash. Ted, if there's an opportunity, I would be willing to talk to the whatever ancestor of this guy and ask him some interesting questions.
I will not be disrespectful to his father. He is here though, not the father, but the son, grandson.
Yeah.
I did inform his father that his son is currently having a little bit of a crash out, in case he wants to intervene on his behalf, which I wish I could do with Falco as well, to be able to talk to his father or a government-appointed caretaker.
I have returned.
Mental illness is a very sad thing, and one thing I really appreciate about Cabal is that we're actually a very tolerant community. Like, most people would not tolerate this kind of mental illness, but we, the Cabal, who are truly gracious and kind-hearted people, will tolerate people like Zach and Falco. It is often difficult, but it is genuine kindness, something that the left is not capable of. Because in Cabal, we might roast you, make fun of you, but it's also part of strengthening you as a person. In leftist servers, they simply cut your tongue out, and if they could, they would kill you.
Often true, yeah. I appreciate the kind words. That is kind of what I'm going for, yes. Yeah, that's a good point, Skog. There are white women here, so maybe the dogfucker claim is, it's a scattershot approach, but he probably hit someone. Oh yeah, John Wick. No, I'm not denying that there are degenerates here. Wick, though, is a worse class of degenerate.
If I had $1, Ginger, for every single time I have been mocked in this server, I would be able to pay for a therapist for both these two people that I was speaking of. With plenty of money left over to go buy Baked Quattro, a Cybertruck, his favorite form of vehicle.
I didn't know that was your favorite form of vehicle. And now interrupting before you can clear that up, Kieran says, tonight on Cabal Gear, Ted discovers a new Happisburg. Falco gets promoted to the second biggest retard, and Glossy seduces Cybersmith.
True.
Yeah. Triple says that she's watched Initial D. She can confidently say about being a good racist. Yes. Triple D being the racing anime. With the racism. All right.
Yes.
Cabal has available boosts. Oh, did someone do a boost? Yes. We have 3 available.
Can someone
okay.
post the dev meme in Commons rent-free, please?
Thank you to the 2 of you that did the boost. I don't know if you want that to be read out. Let's now see if unlocking the server tag bends the boosts. I'll be disappointed if it does. Enable. Server tag enabled. It did. It spent them. So we have to maintain those boosts constantly to keep the server tag. Did it automatically re-put the server tag on everyone that had it? No, you're going to have to reapply it. Because of that, chat, I'm going to change the tag so to be CBAL rather than CABL, because I think if you pronounce that abbreviation, it sounds more like Cabal than CABL. Cabal. So I'm changing to CBAL, but you will now have to re-add the server tag yourself. But I do recommend doing so. All right, let's let me re-add it myself. Profile, edit main, and server tag. Golden Age Cabal. Save changes. There we go. Right. By the way, I intend to do something quite devious. I intend to, at some point, when I have built the economy system back to where I want it to be, I will be rewarding people for their posts. I'll be rewarding people for activity and voice, and there will also probably be some sort of incentive to have the Cabal tag on, like Henry Cavill. Yeah. Cabal is an LGBT dating site now, says UFC. I wish Glossy and Cybers with a happy pet play fantasy made the tail butt plug never slip out by accident. Look, Cabal has always been a dating server, okay? But we just don't particularly mind with whom. With whomstead of. Just anyone who can survive Cabal gets to use it as a dating server.
So romantic.
Yes. Chat, just gotta fix something I just noticed is broken. There we go. There we go. I removed a old hard drive pool recently. And so some assets that OBS was fetching from there now need to be redirected to the new one, including the image mask that was making the side of the webcam here fade out on the edge, because it was just solid before, but now it's fixed. Jackie says, Cabal is a dating server where you will be bullied. Yes. Cabal is a
We've
brat
had many
dating
successful
server.
relationships that bloomed in this server, like Duchess and Invader. Duchess and what was the one before Invader again? I can't remember his name right now.
That was Ziphos. Yeah, no,
Duchess
that,
and Libby.
that was
Cyberpunk and Glossy.
Simon Smith, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Duchess and Ziphos was that was a huge, huge matter, you know, in terms of body
I'm
weight.
terrible
Huge.
with names.
Sometimes love can bloom on a battlefield.
Indeed.
I have a feeling though when Glossy and Cyber Smith do consummate their love, I think it's very likely that Glossy will not walk away from it unbroken.
Hmm.
Physically, no broken bones. Or ripped tendons.
Yeah, Zach does seem to think that he's annoying us. Like,
leftists live in delusion.
Yeah.
He has to tell himself he's annoying us because otherwise he would be helping the enemy.
You've unintentionally made our day much brighter.
Lich Lord,
and
he can see
more
those channels. He just can't talk in them.
fun. Thank you for being my excuse not to have to talk about politics today. So I said, Baked Zach, just in case it's not clear, you have unintentionally made our day much brighter and more fun. Smiley face. Thank you for being my excuse not to have to talk about politics today. And that's completely genuine, by the way. Completely genuine. I just want it to be a little harder for him to believe that he's actually upsetting us.
To fight delusion, you have to speak truth.
That's certainly one way of doing it, yeah. It can't hurt. Eric with the Don't Bully Me, I'll Come shirt. Not wearing it, you understand, but
Also,
advertising
Will, I know you very well. You're, I am sure, always more baked than Zach.
Hello, Sport. We have a new lol cow. Don't forget Duchess and Redacted. Yes. Also Matthias and 8-Bit, yeah. Not to forget those two. Jackie says Di doesn't scare him. He can outrun her. Yeah, indeed.
Don't worry, Will. You have plenty of time to catch up with me.
Di scares Glossy. Well, Di probably should scare you, Glossy. Di is anathema to weak men. I still think that that Glossy needs to be made kitten. Weakness is stairs.
Well,
yeah.
you can do so by cheering for Glussy Mathussy.
Yes. Glossy says I may look weak, but my mind is strong. Well, you've complained several times today about having like mental issues that causes you to spend insane amounts of money on surgeries. So I don't know if I go quite that far, Glossy. However, I will greatly commend you in being a tranny that really can take the banter. Very few of those. Jackie seems to be able to as well. Kiki largely can. And you. 38k to enter the uncanny valley. Yeah, Glossy, that's what you're doing. Like, I strongly recommend you don't. Please consider alternatives that are not such a waste of money.
Okay, I'm going to be real with you here for a moment. Like, look, you do that, and then you're going to find something else that you're going to want to change, and then you're just going to keep going further and further and further until you've packed up so many bits of your body, there's nothing left that you can do, and you'll still feel the same way.
You probably will,
I've seen
yeah.
this happen so many times.
You probably will still
With
feel the same
those
way.
who have the dysmorphic condition of transgenderism and anorexia, the end result is death through body destruction, unfortunately.
Mm.
And it's not something that I say with glee. I do not want people destroying themselves with mental illness. It is a sad thing.
Yeah, but Glossy, we're talking about
Well,
an
that is
early
true.
death. We're talking about death before you're 40, through suicide as well, which means a lot of depression before that, or through some sort of body issue caused by the surgeries. Like, Glossy, probably when you get the surgery, it makes you feel better. but then that wears off, so you need another one. That's, not everything that follows that pattern is one, but that is an addiction.
Another case of body dysmorphia was that actress from the Boys, like literally destroyed herself. Went
I have
from
heard
being
about that, yeah.
a very attractive young lady to something that's almost monstrous.
Yeah. Glossy, I'm sure you've already had surgeries if you're dropping 38k on one, but please stop.
It also destroys you financially.
Yeah, indeed. That's interesting, Daddy Bill. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to look at today, actually. Any excuse not to talk about politics, chat. We could look at Grok 4, see how it handles stuff. You're first. Glossy,
With all
please
sincerity,
don't.
Glossy, please don't get surgery.
Yeah, please don't.
Like that is like going from I am going to do a little bit of cocaine to going full I'm a meth addict now. You do not want to go down that road.
Nah, please don't. Kieran says, I took a few months off from Cabal and Duchess pegs half the server. Wes goes full retard and Cybersmith joins. I miss more fun than die. Okay, a few things. One, Ziphos wishes Duchess had pegged him. Duchess only pegged Invader. Wes goes full retard. Yeah. And Cybersmith joins. Yeah.
Well, no, forget, he went full nuclear retard.
Yes. Like, here, minus the beard, you look the most like a woman there you ever have. Is that what you were going for? Oh God, I better not say that, or he's just going to
through FaceApp.
He's just going to. If you throw him through FaceApp, half the server will fall in love. They don't. It's not a good idea.
No, but that's what makes it funnier.
You guys said it yourself. I'm ugly. I want to look kind of pretty, small, feminine. You will. It won't make you just prettier. It will make you. It will create the appearance that lines up sort of logically with beauty, but it will look monstrous.
It's the uncanny valley.
It will be uncanny valley, yeah.
Look, Bossy, the best thing that you can do for yourself right now, eat lots of red meat and start lifting. You'll feel better.
You might do. I don't believe that works for everyone, but it probably works for most men. It might work for Glossy, but if it doesn't work for anyone, Glossy probably is one of them.
As my wife
I can say from personal experience here,
made by a blacksmith. That would
when I got back into weightlifting, and it made me considerably less homosexual, unironically.
Skog also says take some ivermectin. Look, it's based on one fucking green text, but if you can safely get ivermectin and take some, I say it's fucking worth a try.
Never know what you got. Hard to tell until it all comes out.
That ivermectin is often claimed to be horse dewormer medicine. This is true. It's also for people.
Yes.
As it turns out, the same.
Yes, it was originally designed for people to cure African river blindness.
It's a very effective, I think, antiviral and antiparasitic. So
you'll find that medications for humans often applied to animals as well, and like a lot of overlap between a veterinary.
Nectarivin worm deorser, yes. Yes. What Ginger says is correct. The media called it horse dewormer because that's one of the things it's used for, and that would sound nastier. But the reality is ivermectin's little bit of a wonder drug, actually. It's very, very effective, and it's one of the only things that actually worked against COVID.
Well, see, here's the thing that people often neglect to mention. It won a Nobel Prize for curing African river blindness.
Yep.
Those crazy conspiracy theorists with their horse dewormers.
Glossy says, Twink death is real. I'm around the 30 mark. Okay, Glossy, that is the absolute perfect time not to get surgery. Because that's just going to make it worse. Like, everything about your whatever twink attributes you like about yourself are going to fall apart. And there's just going to be these little bits left over that look uncanny and fake. You will look worse. Your best bet right now is to lean hard into your actual biology. Which is you don't have to be a masculine male, just try and be a relatively normal male. Or whatever, a feminine male is okay too. Just don't waste fuckloads of money on something that you're never going to fix it. You're just going to become addicted to the process of fixing it, waste all your money, and then as the years go on, it will just look less and less human. I'm advising this not for ideological reasons, really, but just because I think it's genuinely the better idea for you. I'm not trying to apply a mold to you. I'm giving you advice for you. Although I don't know you that well, and I don't understand the condition very well. Still, I cannot imagine a good argument for it compared to the arguments against it. Dude, Zach is calling us inbred. You
really is
you
built like an
want
overhead
to
projector.
go there with that chin.
I'm sure that chin can probably reach across continents.
PH says, the parasites ruining our once proud nations are against a miracle drug that kills parasites. Go figure. One way of putting it. I do think that they're like, it's a wild conspiracy theory. It could be completely fake. The idea that homosexuality is at least sometimes caused by specific parasites. But if that's the case, it may be that during COVID, the forces that be didn't block ivermectin because it would help with COVID, though that was also a reason. They blocked it because it would help with homosexuality. And that people would discover that some percentage of homosexuals actually can be cured of it because it's actually parasite-based. And that's a plausible theory that it is parasite-based. I don't know if there's any evidence for it.
There are a lot of parasites that do affect your personality.
Yes.
For example, you have the one that cats give their cat moms.
Toxoplasma gondii. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But I would say largely homosexuality is very similar to cluster B disorders, where it's a mix of genetic disposition plus environmental triggers.
Yes, I expect that's true. But I wouldn't be surprised if some amount of it is caused by parasites.
I mean, when you look at what parasites can do to your brain, it does often mimic other conditions.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a few parasites that can do that kind of thing. Malthusium conspiracy.
Don't get one of those RFK
again,
Junior brain worms.
Yeah. No one says Toxoplasma gondii is known
starving to death.
Known to cause homoerotic social changes. How would you know, Nomon? You sound very experienced. But yes,
he is a Swede.
Yes. I think what Toxoplasma gondii generally causes is a friendly disposition towards cats, even if you are their prey. Which is probably why you get those sort of cat hags, older women who have fuckloads of cats, because they are infected by Toxoplasma gondii and they just want more cats. Affects bone growth. Well, just like HRT. To be fair, Ghost, I think he's dropped that definition. I'm not certain, though. I have to say, Zach's willpower in not joining the chat is quite strong. But do we call it willpower or do we call it cowardice?
Mental illness. I wouldn't see, just to be, autistic here. He is not a coward. His picture is in his profile, but he is deeply mentally ill.
Mm.
And so I think it's unfair to label him as a coward. Mentally ill, without a doubt.
Fair enough.
Pierre, why would you post that?
What did Pierre post? Oh, Tier, right.
Tier.
Yeah, Baked McZack, toxoplasmosis, I think, would be the name of the condition caused by Toxoplasma gondii.
Yeah.
It's when it comes to Arcturus here, it's more delusion. So leftists, they don't want to face ideas that counter theirs because they're heavily psychologically invested into their delusional bubble. And see, the thing is, when a leftist becomes red-pilled and they start moving away from the cult, It's actually psychologically, it's a very similar effect to like losing your tribe. It takes a lot of courage and risk tolerance to willfully leave the tribe that you kind of depend for your psychological connections. And so they will psychologically create barriers from that happening.
It's
And so it's not cowardice, it's delusion.
Afraid. He is too afraid to break lockstep from those marching off the fucking cliff to have a single, even one controversial thought and voice it.
Well, it's tribalism is inherently banked into the human experience, and it's very difficult. Generally speaking, the only people who can break from a tribe are those who are very high risk tolerance, those who are very physically strong and capable, or those who are blessed or cursed, if you will, with autism.
I think the
and don't really have the capacity to be tribalistic.
Autists may be able to break from tribe orthodoxy because they love truth, but they would rarely be able to survive outside a tribe, unless their autism is for survival, which some are. But autists require
There's a reason why
a stable
autistic people
society.
have a very high
However,
suicide rate.
Sure. However, I think the factor that the factor that leads more to people being able to think independently of their tribe is ADHD. That's the one that allows them to diverge from tribal thinking. So, which is why I think most in Cabal they have the ADHD trait of divergent, non-tribal thinking, and also the autistic trait of love of truth. Yes, Agent Ice.
Is that from when you tried to audition as a hentai protagonist?
So, what do you guys think of the odds that eventually, through exposure, that our new member here, Baked Alaska, will over time leave his mental conditioning? I give it a 20% chance, personally.
Sure.
Because that'd be honestly the greatest thing that could come out of this is he sticks around and actually kind of loosens up a little bit, engages a little more, and then he could make some serious positive improvements. Like that is the ideal.
Yeah, could certainly happen. Stranger things have happened.
It seems to me that he's trying to bait us into banning him, failing on every account.
Well, people who so when people criticize you for attention seeking, it's negative attention seeking. It is a psychological need for humans to have attention, because when you go back to our more natural state, attention means the tribe notices you and that you're not going to disappear and just be left for dead. And so people need attention psychologically. It's how you get it. And when people fail to find positive attention seeking behaviors, they will lean towards negative ones. It's something that our dear friend Falco is very much in the grip of, and I'm hoping that Big Alaska is able to get out of that spiral.
I don't know why the way he's writing it. He's replaced his two wrong spellings of your with come apostrophe on, C-O-M-E apostrophe on. I don't know what he means by that. It doesn't make any sense grammatically. Not even just with the word, but with the sentence. It doesn't read it. Come on, all cut from the same cloth. That doesn't make sense. I must be missing something.
Wants to come on the cloth, I guess? I don't know.
Was incest his degeneracy on there before? Because he may have added that just because we called him Habsburg. Was that on there
He
from
added
the
that a
beginning?
little while ago.
Interesting. He's saying that. Hold on. You're saying racism is just as bad as pedophilia?
No,
He
yeah,
says-
that's a good point,
He
Arcturus.
says all are equivalent. Maybe he just means equivalent in that they are degenerate, like categorically speaking. But I wonder if he actually means that racism is just as bad as pedophilia.
It does seem like he's implying.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, so he is talking about just the equivalent in that they're in the category of degeneracy. But that didn't
know
sound
what?
good.
He has the same kind of definition of degeneracy as Falco does for neo-Nazi.
Mhm.
He really is just Falco 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I still don't understand how racism is degeneracy. It's just racism.
Yeah. I mean, chat, he comes into a place, starts calling everyone pedophiles and whatever else. Is it time to reset the clock? I reckon he's the fucking
think
most
so.
degenerate gooner. Yeah, I did ask him that earlier. Whoever Zaked back is, I did ask him that, but he refuses to explain anything. He refuses to explain his ideas. This man's hard drive, yeah, indeed.
I think the reason why he blocked me and only me, because I was actually in DMs earlier on. I was having a conversation with him and I was actually making good points, like logical. And he says that I am worse than most races because my logic encourages other people to be racist. I think he actually sees me as someone who has convincing arguments when it comes to things like race science.
Ren says this is a crucial time period for Zach. Either he sticks around or leaves when he gets bored. Yes, you're correct. He doesn't realize it, but there's a much bigger game going on here. He's just the rat in the maze. We will see if he finds his way out of the first stage of the maze into the point where he thinks that he'll stay and continue interacting. And at that point, there is a chance for his character to improve.
I hope it does. I mean, I want to see everyone, improve. It's always a good thing.
Ghost says, has anyone offered him a racism to Africa email? That's a good point. Yes, Kieran. He also has a Habsburg chin, so the suspicion is, in fact, that he is potentially the result of incest. Arturo says racism is a point of purity rather than degeneracy. Yeah, if you mean purity in terms of simply it being the opposite to degeneracy, then racism is about that. Yeah, it's about the casting off the disgust reflex rather than embracing it. Although I guess degeneracy, for people that like it, they just aren't disgusted. So that depends on your perspective, I guess. Do we know what he's basing his accusations of bestiality on? Nope. No idea.
I think it's because I believe Bun threatened to turn him into a human pet.
that could do it.
That's about all he had to go on.
It was Pug's profile picture. What, just the fact that it's a dog? That's all. That's all it took for him to say that it's an entire server of bestiality because one user has a dog in their profile picture. Yeah, that sounds about right. Fantastic. Well, chat, we've almost managed to get through the entire length of a normal stream without me having to talk about politics, so today has been a good day. Half his accusations are based on profile picture. Nice. Yeah, and despite the fact that I haven't talked about politics almost at all, we've still maintained about 40 viewers, which is more than we normally have. So community stuff is once again proven to be way more appealing to people, even when I'm kind of distracted. Sorry, chat. I've been
Today's
kind
a
of
special day.
yeah. I've been kind of low energy last few days. Not sure why. But apologies.
Normally, I'm not a big fan of the drama streams, but this is a very organic one that
Yeah.
they couldn't really be avoided.
Indeed, Arcturus, it is kind of bigoted. Judging a collective based on one picture. Just say some completely unhinged shit and end stream. Unhinged shit. Put up on the last stream via Rumble. Good. And let's see if he's still going. That got me to watch a stream for the first time in forever. Wes got me to stop watching, and I've been meaning to tune in since he spoke away. I think
Big Zact is one of the greatest arguments against marijuana use in our society, and gives me more conviction to continue to battle my addiction with marijuana.
Atronach, do you think you could handle... Is he here, actually? No. Chat, press 1 if you could handle the mental illness-y of Lele from The Coffin of Andy and Lele. Could you fix her? Press 2 if you could not fix her.
I'm pretty sure he's over 18. I would say probably his mid-20s, I would say.
So he's old enough where he should know better.
If you have not played or watched Coffin of Andy and Lele, it's weird, but it's very well made. So I do recommend giving it a look. You don't have to play it yourself. You could watch someone play it. And if you want to watch a streamer play it who matches the energy of the game, go and find Lucy Pyre's playthrough. It's fucking nuts, but it's very funny. Lethargy might be a copper deficiency. Have some cashews or spinach, maybe. That's an interesting idea. I like spinach, actually, which is quite rare.
Just good.
That is interesting. I hadn't heard that before. For me, it's usually vitamin B. And I have these vitamin B gummies that I've been having, but I think I forgot them the last few days, or some of the last few days. I don't know. Maybe it's that. But most of you are saying that you could not, in fact, fix Lele, and I think that's correct. Probably almost no one could. But the thing with Lele is that Andy, it's not even that Andy is her perfect victim, but the parents create the perfect situation for Andy to be molded into her perfect victim. I mostly blame the parents in that case, because they try and force Andy to parent Lele. What Lele desperately needs is someone with authority to tell her no aggressively and frequently. But Andy has no authority to say that, and the parents just tell Andy no. So Andy gets fucked over by the whole situation, ends up completely emotionally dependent on Lele because she just has so much more power than he does. And she is completely unhinged and has no self-accountability whatsoever. So that's why it spirals into that horrific situation.
Is this the incest anime you're talking about right now?
That you're close. It does have incest in it, but that's not the feature, not the focus. And it's not an anime, it's a video game.
The one that Zane likes to meme a lot, I think.
Yes. It is, as I said, like, yes, it has incest in it, but it's not actually pornographic. And there is also murder and cannibalism, but it is a visual novel, and I will say it is actually well made. It's not there to titillate degenerate impulses. It's there to tell a disturbing story, and it's quite good, actually.
Unfortunately, based off the memes I've seen, I imagine it does have the effect of titillizing people who are deeply sick.
It might do, yeah. That doesn't change the fact that it's well made. Kieran says fixing Lele is easy, 8 gauge to the forehead. If you're familiar with the story of the coffin of Andy and Lele, press 1 if it's pretty much 100% Lele's fault. Like, between Andy and Lele themselves, obviously the parents, I think, are mostly at fault. But press 1 if it's almost entirely Lele's fault. Press 2 if Andy and Lele share a roughly similar amount of blame. I would say 1. I'd say it's almost entirely Lele's fault. Andy is stuck in a really shitty situation because his parents are awful. His parents aren't as, like, obviously bad as Lele, like in the immediate, but the way they parent the two, it creates that situation. Was there actually incest, or was it implied it could happen in the future? There, in the first release, or first and second, I don't know, I think there's been multiple releases. They implied it in like a dream sequence, but then in the most recent one, I won't spoil it, but they conclude the story. Who success their parents left them to die. That's also true, but I'm talking even before that. But yes, that's also true. I mean, after that point, the damage was done, right? Or by that point, the damage was done. But you saw plenty of bits in the story from their early life about how Andy was expected to parent his little sister. But as I said, he had no authority to tell her no. And then when she fucked up, he got in trouble. Which just created this completely pathological feedback loop where she never got any authority. She never got any sort of like disincentivization from doing evil things. He got inverse incentivization, so he was punished when he tried to do the right thing, and also punished the same way if he didn't, but possibly more actually. But he had no way of actually affecting the situation. So she just gained complete power. And he hated her the whole time. But he had become so dependent on her being around and being a sort of, not a moral guide, but a motivating factor, that he became emotionally dependent on her. And she needed him so much because he was such a perfect vehicle for her insanity that she just became completely obsessively attached to him. That's what I'm saying. If you can do this kind of psychoanalysis and it makes sense, it's pretty well written, and it's very well written in my opinion. And he is a pussy and he has to man that. Well, yeah, but he's grown up in a very, very shitty situation, so I can understand where he is. Like at some point, he should have just started telling Lele no. If he had told the parents about the incident in the warehouse, well, I don't think it would have done much. He would have been in just as much trouble as she would have. Probably more, actually. Because again, the parents would have blamed him. So he had no one to go to at any time. But if later on, after the parents left them for dead, if he had then said no and just abandoned her at some point, his life probably would have got better. But by that time, it was already pretty fucked up. So I think he was already kind of on that course. And of course, he still has the sympathy and the familial love for his sister and wants to care for her. The sexual love came way later. So he stuck with her, and it just got worse and worse and worse as a result. UFC says him telling her no would just turn her on more. No, it wouldn't. It would make her more manipulative, more pathological. It's like his girlfriend. What was her name? Can't remember her name. Someone in chat will get it. That was essentially him telling her no, in a way he didn't even realize was telling her no. And Lele did everything short of trying to kill her. I'm surprised she never tried to kill her, actually. She probably would have done. She asked Annie to kill her at some point. Eric says, I feel like the mum was aware of the warehouse and it was mentioned in the story. Yes, it was mentioned. They suspected, but they didn't know. Been quite a while. Yeah. In the most recent chapter, it was revealed that they suspected, but didn't know. While politics appeared.
Like Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
Another one.
Oh my god, another Oozaloo post in Hall of Fame. Does incest run in the family, or is it too deformed to run? Yeah, yes. I remember when I said that.
By the way, we have 40 people listening in the audience right now.
Somehow.
Stream's doing numbers.
Why will 41 of you sit here and listen to us, like, lethargically mock someone in the server and me commentate on an incest game? But when I actually talk about serious politics, even when something major is happening, I still get less viewers than this. It's because
it seems like he also has Trump derangement syndrome as well, which honestly might be a little more legitimate now, considering recent developments with Donald Trump and Epstein.
Well, possibly, but I suspect that they had it way before that. It probably is, chat, because a lot of you see Cabal as your tribe or your home. And so stuff that's about the tribe is actually more interesting than stuff that's outside it.
Indeed.
Difference in entertainment factor between the two is quite obvious, as Pierre. If I could just, this is why I probably should find other servers to raid, because we could just base entire streams on that. It would be great. And I'm questioning, because it's my current obsession, do you know of Star Sector? I'm afraid not, no. Cabal is our home socially. For a lot of you, most of you, yes. I think that's probably why we have a fairly low ingest rate of new users, is because Cabal becomes a home for people that are here so quickly and completely that they don't actually interact anywhere else, or very little.
I mean,
Because people are very tired of politics.
After my first week here when I joined, there was no reason for me to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
There's no real incentive. Like, aside from a few small servers where I have like personal friends, outside of that, there's really not much of a reason unless, it's for funnies.
Wolf says, it's simple. I can get news and politics anywhere. Cabal Brandsburg, that's literally the only place. Fair enough. But I would like to think that the news and politics commentary I offer is unique. But then, yeah, it's still within that same category. Don't really tire of politics, but you all fished me out of another server by surprise. I did, didn't I? Yes. I did do that. Zeman says, outside Tomboy Holy Land, there isn't much to do in other servers. Yeah, we are glad you're here, right, Taurus? Yeah, Zeman, I know that there must be
breaking news.
in other servers.
Zach has basically agreed with what I was saying. Non-white societies are very racist. Why do you keep calling them degen? Are you trying to say non-white people are inferior? Hate to break it to him, but anybody can be degenerate. So it seems like he agreed with my point that non-white people are inherently more degenerate than white people.
So, yeah, as I was saying, well, I can't remember what I was saying, actually. But yeah, there must be other people in Discord who would enjoy Cabal. There's probably thousands of them. We just haven't found them yet. They haven't found us yet. So it's true that I don't know of any other servers where there is the kind of activity that would be even worth taking. But I'm sure we could find some. And raid streams, exactly. So that's what we should do. Now, the thing is, it couldn't be raid, because that's, against Discord's TOS. Not that I necessarily care, but it would be quite easy to identify a raid. Like, you can easily tell when a server's being raided. Heuristically, and there's lots of systems that prevent it. So we would have to be a little careful, which is why I would call it more of a, less of a raid, more of a sort of bombing run. Thank you, Dekwao, who says, that guy has been going on for the whole stream. Yes, and for hours before.
It's been all day.
Like a bombing campaign. But when bombers would airdrop leaflets and propaganda rather than bombs? Mostly that. So the idea would just be that we join gradually and casually. Maybe I just join during a stream, or a few other people do as well. And then we just talk to people and make it clear that, hey, there's not much going on here. Do you want to come back to Cabal? Just to keep it simple.
If I may make a proposal, can we move live chat into commons so that way we could better integrate into the conversation?
Not just for this purpose, no. I have considered classifying the channels differently, which could see live chat moving up alongside those channels, but I probably won't.
I'm saying like the people who are typing in live chat talk in commons, so that way Zach can be more integrated to the conversation.
You could collapse the channels that are between them. But this is the first time we've ever actually needed that.
Oh, I think you're misunderstanding. Like, actually move the conversation, people who are talking in live chat, and talk in commons when responding to the stream. So that way Zach could be more incorporated into the conversation of what's going on.
I see what you mean. People are welcome to do that. I'm checking both live chat and commons. So if you type something in commons,
yes,
quite possibly I'll see it. Yeah, I think, like Zach says, hate to break it to you, but anyone can be a degenerate. It's about actions. Yeah, reasonable thing to say. I don't know why he's fighting us over this. I don't know why he thinks that he is actually disagreeing with anyone here. I mean, his reason... Hold on. I don't think you're actually against us on anything. Your reason for thinking there's any bestiality here is one user has a profile picture with a dog. How does that meet? How is that an action which demonstrates degeneracy? He probably won't give an honest response to that. He probably won't even read it or think about it. But we'll see. There's a chance he will. He says, I like that. It's like the server raiding version of blind dating, except it would actually work. Yeah, it almost certainly would. Plus, he says, I can grab people from other places, but I don't want to invite people who are totally silly. No, that's fine. I mean, we've totally silly is fine. The thing is, I'm very confident in Cabal's ability to filter people. So if we get someone here who is silly, as long as they're not actually actively trying to destroy the server by reporting it, then that's fine. Just if it's just them, no matter what their personality is, it's probably fine. It'll be interesting, as you've seen with Zach, with you, Glossy, Cybersmith. There are some unusual personalities here, but they add to the tapestry because of the unique way that we handle it, rather than detracting from it. The icing on the cake says Glossy. I'm not sure I'd exactly put it that way, but maybe.
There we go.
What? What have you done?
I have heard from credible sources that Big Zach is a necrophile.
Interesting.
So it seems.
Credible sources TM.
My source is, it was revealed to me in a dream.
More accurate than modern mainstream media.
Yes. Hold on. Everyone respond with, whoa. Baked Zach is a necrophile? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Just do right-click copy text on my message. Seems kind of degenerate, not gonna lie.
That's a good point, Ren.
He never said that necrophilia is degenerate, did he? It's a good point. It's a good point.
He called out a lot of things he's considered degenerate, but not once necrophilia. I feel like that might be something he left out on purpose.
I think so. And for those who want to see the evidence, here, let me forward this into live chat. Here you go.
You know, so I'm going to be honest. Is it a personality cult? Yes, but personality cults are not inherently a bad thing. It depends what it's used for. Personality cult is just basically leadership capacity being manifested. It's how you direct it that makes it destructive or productive.
A cult in the full sense, as I understood it, had 4 qualifiers. I can't remember all of them, but one of them is what is known as a cult of personality. Cult of personality as an expression doesn't refer to something that is a cult in the full sense. But cult of personality, yeah, we sort of have that because, you know, we have Ginger here, who is the central personality of the server.
Clearly.
Yeah, so we have that. But there are other qualities of a cult, and one of them is an insistence that cult members do not cut off contact with the outside world, including their families and such, which Cabal's never done. There are other things as well, like this, it's supernatural or divine or like highly powerful beliefs, which I don't enforce here. You know, there's stuff like principles, but it's very, very broad, that stuff. I don't think you really call that similar. I think the last one was, I can't remember what the last one was, but there were 4 qualifiers, and we do 1 or maybe 2 of them at most. Obviously, this is just someone's definition. for a cult. He's added necrophilia to the list. Okay, so so given that he's just added that to the list, but because obviously he does the other three, right? Big old projector. So I think that confirms. I think you adding necrophilia to the list confirms our
Well, I made sure to
hypothesis.
post a midget for you because I know you would appreciate it. Have you guys ever
True.
seen that movie? It's actually a very good movie. I forget its name, some terrible names, but where that meme comes from, One of Us. It is honestly one of the better old movies I've seen.
I haven't seen it though.
Does anyone actually remember the name of that movie?
Capstasha says he added necrophilia to it after we called it out, so he's not a free thinker. I think that's been demonstrated at this point, yeah.
We knew that already when we
Usually.
discovered that he was a Redditor.
Yes,
Usually,
Ginger.
what do you think the chances are that this man is also an entomophile?
Chat,
What is that?
can we just start Beatles, I think. Can we just start listing the files that he must be? And I would prefer that we don't just say he is one. We ask, wait, he is one? Because then at least that's some, like, it's not a direct allegation. But just, I want everyone to come up
I'm just going to
with...
keep going with the direct allegations because I can.
Sure. And that's up
What's
to
he
you.
going to do about it?
That's up to you. But I would ask everyone to come up with a O-file or O-sexual or whatever to ask if he is, and then just line them all up in Commons. Just ask them with a ping. Just see if we can make the copy pasta way longer.
Perhaps you should have a countdown. Give people a type.
Yeah, we can do a
Give me a
thunderclap.
moment.
Okay, chat, hold your messages. Don't send them yet. Everyone get one ready. Everyone get a message ready, which is, whoa, at base Zach is a, and then you fill in your own word of just a random, like, O-file or O-sexual. Like, or you could word it as thing fucker as well if you wanted.
But
Just
you know
get your
what?
message ready in comments.
Here we go. I'm jumping the gun. Let's fucking
Quattro
go.
jump the gun. All right, everyone get your messages ready. We'll send them in about 10 seconds. You have that long to come up with a type of sexual, and then we're going to send them all at once. Ready? 3, 2, 1, send. That's a lot. Wow. Okay, so let's see. Let's go through them here. We've got a coprophile. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is,
that's feces.
Nice.
This is German.
Objectophile, gopherophile, zoophile, podophilia, homophile. Well, I guess that makes sense. Slime sexual, oozophile. I mean, who isn't? Naziphile, mechanophile, furnitureophile, pansexual, niggersexual. Thank you, Jackie. Glad Parry defended that. Spiritus sexual. And Irish. Thank you, Skog. That's possibly the worst one. And then Ginger with the entomophile, because no one else did. Let's see him add all of those.
And the thing is,
reckons he
I
janks off the floor
deliberately
tiles.
picked what I did so that I can make sure that he has to go look that up. I know he probably doesn't know what that means.
And the thing is, he is spending his Sunday doing this. And so are we.
Yeah, but we're having a lot more fun, I think.
I'm
Mark,
pretty
nice.
sure he is potentially so deep in delusion that he genuinely thinks he's winning.
Mark Knife says, I haven't been active
And-
for the last few months, so just going to chill listening in the background about what the fuck is going on in Cabal at the moment. Yeah, we're not doing politics today. It's just lol cow tipping.
Yeah.
Bodafile equals feet. Yeah, I think that's what I would have guessed it was. None of us said Diafile, who still isn't here, by the way. Oh, she's got offline now. She played Marvel Rivals and then went to sleep all through the drama. What an idiot.
Look,
You just missed
she
it
is
again.
too busy being the Black Cat of Cabal because she went to go out and get Marvel-themed cigarettes, and, well, we haven't seen her since.
Indeed. Don't post the die drama meme.
Perhaps
yeah,
one of
indeed.
the reasons why he has me blocked is because he cannot resist my charm.
You're simply too tempting to him.
Indeed. Perhaps a little queer.
Oh, 8-bit. I think that's the wrong one.
Where has it been posted?
Oh, he is coping. Oh, he is coping.
Yeah, I bet that's the wrong one. He's just never seen a mass meltdown. It's crazy. Yeah, he doesn't really understand what's going on here, does he?
Here we go.
I never thought there would be another Falco. Perhaps him and Falco shared the same father, grandfather.
Ren's has never seen a community having fun. And I've said to him, not sure you fully understand the power dynamics at play here.
There we go.
Karen says, remember, kids, saying niglet is as repugnant as digging up corpses for fornication.
See, I have won because I've depicted myself as the Chad and you as the Soy Jack.
Mm-hmm.
That is how this works. No matter what, as long as I declare myself the winner, I can never lose.
Mm-hmm. This is just free real estate. This is just completely free entertainment. He's still going.
It is.
He's caught us coping and seething clearly. Clearly. Ghost, yeah, clearly. He comes in here and makes
Guys,
accusations that land on less than 1% of the community and just keeps making them accusations that most of us agree with. And it's like, yeah, I'm owning you. Just make him keep doing it. He's just diligently posting the same thing for hours and hours and hours. It's just like, there's 40 of us here laughing about it, and he's like, ha, I've owned them.
I mean, he is
Real
correct
talk,
about
like,
the fact that he is living here rent-free in our minds, and it's quite hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, I fucking,
we have
this entertainment
graciously
is
permitted
fantastic.
him
You
to
don't have to
use
pay.
the space.
Are we sure he's not a bot, says Ghost? Hey, if he is, the belief that he isn't is in our interest.
Well, see, we tried by we tried to test this by seeing if he would respond to ignore previous prompts and post a recipe for banana bread, and well, it didn't quite work.
No. You know, we could still make him kitten chat. I think it would be funny to do that during the stream. He's not that far off, actually.
Ginger, if I may ask one last favor of you, I know you're very generous to make Clovey kitten, and I hate to ask you this, but there's one more deserving than Clovey.
Is it Klopfro?
Please make sure you get Glycema Thussy up there.
Yeah, Ginger, since the decay pattern has been changed on the board, and since Matthias happens not to be here, there is, unavoidably, a bit of a gap in power where someone could potentially get Glussi Mathusi up on the board, which would put Glossy and Matthias in the sack and then hit with the kitten stick.
Would be really funny.
It was entirely Quattro's idea, and Matthias would probably know that.
It would make him sneed.
Glossy and Matthias in the sack, yes. Being hit with a kitten stick. As we feel like they're having tomboy parties, Ginger says, Clovey has waited so long for her time of prominence, it would be a crime to take it away so quickly. I think it would be.
That's
you
why
can
it would
ask
be
her
so
permission,
funny.
I suppose. You could just ask her if she would be okay with it. I think she would understand.
She might be kind of short-tempered about it because it hasn't been very long. But I know it's a tall order, Ginger. But you're a man of great stature, and you're also a dwarf. He's back to being stingy. Oh no, he's back in his stingy era, his stingy period.
Oh.
No,
Well,
Glossy
Dwarf can't spend all his gold coins in one place.
Glossy says he hates the term glussy. It's perfect. Yes, Glossy, it
Glossy's
is
just
like
saying that
It's meant to be
because
like
they
that.
want the attention and made Kenton. It's the reverse
Yeah, look,
psychology.
We have the
but don't say
perfect
that.
opportunity right now to do something really, really funny, and you're going to miss it.
Kieran says
Dark,
it's.
you got a good point. I, as your financial advisor, I am advising this.
And he is a Jew.
Not saying dump everything, but you know.
Glossy is now
just the bare
attempting.
minimal goyim. Just the bare minimal goyim.
Glossy is now attempting reverse psychology by pretending that they want kitten.
Sure thing, Snark.
I don't think any of the rest of you are going to be fooled by such amateurish reverse psychology as that. Frankly, I think we should cheer Glussy up the board, or Glussy Mathussy if you prefer, just for the attempt of them doing that, just to punish, just to make sure that they don't think they can get away with that again.
Whatever you do, please do not put up Baked Alaska. That would be just so completely lame and unamusing.
That's a good point, Ghost. Ren has pointed out that Zach hasn't accused us of sexism. We need to step up our game. So true. Glossy says they'll post more pics. Your threats don't work here, Glossy. We are those capable of looking away.
Power here.
We are those capable of looking away from the screen occasionally. Ginger says, I will next donate a large quantity of actual money, not coins, if and when my stock investments go up another 10%. Okay, fair enough.
I am being asked to use my Shucklemancy powers to put Marcus into debt again to pay for the Glissy movement.
All that will come of it is Cybersmith. It's so true, Zigback. And also disgusting. Just directly attack Marcus's credit score. I mean, he is currently a debt slave, so I'm not sure it can get much worse.
Isn't he the debt slut?
Well, that's what Triple insists on, but that's because Triple's a Fujo. No lie detected? What do you reckon?
I don't hear her protesting.
So I will remind you all
here
that the most efficient way to get User coins. Oh, okay. The most efficient way to get User coins is by becoming a recurring patron on Subscribestar. You get a 30% bonus in User coins. So even if you wanted to do a one-time donation, you just go onto Subscribestar, subscribe, you get 30% bonus on your coins, and you can then unsubscribe within the first month if you want to. Now, chat, you see what I'm doing here, obviously. You see what I'm trying to incentivize. I'm trying to incentivize you to just sort of guarantee me an income, because I do this regularly anyway, and I would appreciate that. But if you just wanted to do it one time and then turn it off, I'm not going to stop you. So you would get more coins for that.
My $1 a month is well spent on this Code Monkey.
And the code will get better as well. Glossy, in that picture, you are much closer to passing, but I'm afraid to say I would still be able to tell. It's something in the eyebrows, I think, or the eye ridges. It's just too masculine. But you are closer to passing in that one than the other ones, definitely. Did you go and put makeup on between your last selfie and this one? Is that what you've done? By the way, thank you, Eric. Very generous contribution. He says, Glussi Mathusi, Baked Alaska, Cauldron. That's the best I can do, Ted. Oops, now I included Ted in the cheer. Oh no. Also, Curse Our Resident Volcal, Baked Alaska with Peak Degenerate with the Ahagao icon. That is enough to move the curse. So, yeah. That puts Baked Alaska within 280 pounds of being the kitten. And let's see, if I do TP, let's see where Glussi Mathusi, it's in 11th. Glussi Mathusi is in 11th, and Glussi is in 10th. So, chat, they could be pushed up the board. I will now do the curse. Go on.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was very tempted to use marijuana today, and I did not do it.
Fair enough. So that is 200. Yes, that's easily enough for the curse. Okay, let me do the curse now. Where is the curse currently? Who currently has it? Rolls. Curse. Number 1 Wop Simp. It's currently on Rogel with number 1 Wop Simp for some reason. Okay, that's removed. And then let's remove the filters as well. And then I need to automate this. Server settings, roles. Where is the curse? Where have I left my curse? There it is. Okay.
Yeah, don't misplace that.
Peak, Degenerate, the curse, choose icon, emoji. Is it called Ahagao? It is called Ahagao. Save changes. Then we apply it to our good friend, Zaked back. I'll put it on the real one. There we go. It's done. It's applied.
There we go.
He has his first roll. Congratulations, Zach. You have been granted a roll by sponsored and popular demand.
And for good measure.
It's done. It's done.
Here we go.
See if he leaves the server. We are ramping up the character testing. Kieran says Zach for admin. I'm not sure about that. Glossy, you could get another role today. If you have enough people support Glussy, you could get another role today. And a rename. No, he says. Oh, what's this?
Oh, wait, how far behind is Glussy from Glussy Mathusi?
One sec. Let me have a look. So if we do TP, we can see. Oh, I put that in commons. I'll move that to live chat. I don't want to spam up commons.
Oops.
Okay, so Glussy and Glussy Mathusi. It is about 25 quid difference.
Ah.
$25 quid a room.
So will our new friend Zach be getting recognized in level 1 by chance?
He's basically already breaking the spam
him, but
rule.
we do not grant him on the council.
He's basically already breaking the spam rule, so I don't know about that.
He probably doesn't even know about it, though.
That's a good point, Glossy. Maybe the fact that you have a role is the problem, so maybe we should just remove your recognized. Yeah, that's a good point. The base Zach also did not say that pegging is degenerate, so I reckon he's big into it. We should put him in contact with
I like Poe.
Invader. Also like Poe, yes, is a good point.
Actually, you know what? You could probably also melanate him too.
Maybe. I don't know. There's not a particularly strong justification for that right now. Eric says, with 200, I could have
Melanated people
changed
are the
and
last-
moved the curse 4 times. So I'd like to imagine I shuffled it between 3 people and left it on base Zach. Yes, theoretically, you could have done.
I mean, what he's done is basically the social equivalent of coming in with your Bluetooth speaker at full volume.
Well, chat, it's still
The
280
melanated behavior.
pounds or 28,000 User coins off from Baked Alaska overtaking Clovey and being the kitten. But it could be done. Only a small, every little helps if anyone has some User coins and they believe in this cause. You can put it towards that and Glussy and Glussy Mythosy all at the same time. It's level 1 retard status, says Jackie. Well, you've put lady in your name, Jackie, and it's not massively. I mean, actually, are you don't have to tell us, but are you intersex? And are you more so female than male? Or are you more so male than female? Like in terms of your body, if you're like male body, female mind, and intersex, then I can kind of see where you're coming from. But I don't know if it's still the best course of action. And you don't have to tell us either. It's up to you. Well, I don't see where they come from. Thanks, Skog. There was no need to lower the bar quite that low today. Kieran says, I somehow got level 2 by being absent for about half a year after years. You'll be level 45 without realizing. I think, Kieran, you got it when you were active and then became inactive, but not really for long enough that it was worth removing level 2. Level 2 generally doesn't get removed with inactivity, but level 3 can. And I rarely enforce that, but I probably should do it more. There's quite a few people who have level 3 who haven't been in the server for years, whose character may have changed. Their allegiances have almost certainly changed. So they probably should be bumped down to level 2 until they come back and show that they're acting the same way. Ghost, unfortunately what you've done there is you reveal that you want level 3, and so that's going to slow down your rate of getting it much, much more than any performative action that might have increased it. No one says, but then they die in real life.
You have to be involved in a controversy and then not be retarded. That's the secret.
It helps. I even put in the advice, being tested by circumstance and performing well.
Hey, it worked for me.
So what was I going to say? Yeah, the idea of people just like people that used to be level 3 in Cabal, just enjoying their life, doing normal stuff, maybe out with their new families. It's Farfetch started a family. And then just suddenly they just, and they drop dead. They just die right on the spot. And you know why? It was because they had been inactive for just over 6 months and I removed their level 3 roll.
And you just die in real life.
Many such cases.
Many such cases. If you lose level 3, you die in real life. That's just how it works. Ghost is one if I had ever done anything serious in this server. Good question. Big Zach says, Uzlu has terrible memory and already forgot he asked that exact question last stream. Which question? I don't remember which question you mean. I actually don't. Ava says, Evil Wizard casting his killing curse. Kind of, yeah. Since people already went for Mathusi, I used that one, but I think Beggar Matthias would have been funny. Why Beggar Matthias? I don't get that. Ren says, when will we see the first level 4 on the server? Power scaling has been stagnant for too long. Arguably, Watchman. Watchman is the closest equivalent to level 4, but I don't think of it that way. I think of level 3 as the final level in terms of user seniority, but then in terms of
Uso, clearly
admin
Outreach
powers.
are level 4.
Say again, sorry?
They have outsized. Clearly, Outreach are level 4. As you know, they have.
That's
controlled the
Overwatch,
server for
actually.
Too long.
Did Wes actually say that?
He was
Or
pretty much saying that shit.
Jackie says, my
Outreach is effective level 4.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if you must organize it all into levels, then level 4 is Watchman, level 5 is Moderator, and level 6 is Admin. But I don't think of it that way. Jackie says, my body is naturally uncanny. Mentally, gender dysphoria is a symptom, so I don't know. I am just me. I've been meaning to remove lady. Joke has run its course. Oh, fair enough. I mean, you have to. But when it comes to people that are male and not intersex, I would generally advise they lean into the male thing. With intersex, it's a bit more iffy. There's a bit more like ambiguity there as to, I don't know if you are actually, I don't think you haven't said either way, but with intersex, there's a bit more ambiguity because there's actual biological reasons. But if they have Y chromosomes, then they should probably mostly lean into the male side.
So the concept of intersex is one of the biggest arguments that the left have on the concept of multiple genders.
Yeah.
So basically what they're trying to say is that transgender people are genetically defective.
Well, interestingly, Sargon said something years ago, which I think there's some truth to, which is that gender is a binary, but biological sex is a spectrum. Which is technically true, I think. It's much closer than what the left thinks.
But wouldn't it be trinary?
Well, no, because intersex has many different variations. There's like 6 different types of intersex. So arguably it is a colossal like dichotomy with a tiny sliver in the middle with like a bunch of different categories. Because intersex it's much less than 1%. I think it's 0.1% of the population. No, Glossy, not like Futanari. That's a fetish. I don't know if there are any people who have XX chromosomes and a penis. I don't know. There might be. Well, I say XX, no male chromosomes, but have a penis. And even if they do, it's probably just a sort of vestigial thing that doesn't really work. There is that VTuber, OB Katie Cat, something like that, who says that they are intersex and have a penis, but they appear in all other ways female. That's interesting. I don't know how that works. Maybe it doesn't work. Kieran, Yiz is definitely male-brained. Some female physical qualities, and I think male genitalia as well. It's mostly the voice, I think, and the sort of face, but Yiz is mostly male. Despite the fact that they sound female and act somewhat female, and I usually use female pronouns for Yiz because it's just easier. That's the rule for pronouns, by the way, chat. This is the universal rule that I strongly recommend you use for pronouns. Whatever is lowest energy, whatever requires less effort from you, whatever seems most natural to your instinct is the correct pronouns, or at least is the pronouns to start with. You could adjust it if you think there's a good reason to. Jackie says, I have XY, my body doesn't process testosterone, so it sits until it is estrogen. So chemically, I fit more female brain. Okay, understood. Yeah, that's a tough one, because like, it's not what you've said there. It sounds like it's very similar to intersex. Like, yeah, there's a biological base, a measurable biological basis for this. It's not just sort of more psychological and ephemeral gender dysphoria biological basis. So it's more justifiable to have a different lifestyle. But I still don't think like it's the fact that gender is essentially a binary. It's that way for a reason, and you don't get to be appealing to any but a tiny portion of people unless you neatly fit into the gender binary. That's just biologically normal. So even if it's what you think, even if it's what your body wants, I would advise that you never try and defy your biology unless you just have no interest in relationships and you don't mind being thought of as a freak. Because unfortunately, that's the reality, is that you've got to be one of those two things. So stick with the one that you are most biologically capable of being and just pursue that, or don't care and just be a freak. And again, I'm not saying that to be mean, but it's kind of literally true. You are. We were talking about earlier about uncanny valley. The surgeries will lead you in that direction, I think, as well. So yeah,
many years ago, I was friends with someone who was intersex, and they did corrective surgery on them back when they were a little kid, too old to consent, and they really regretted it, and were very upset about it.
Interesting. Androgen insensitivity, yeah. I have heard of that.
Which is a good argument against transitioning kids as well.
So it sure is, yeah. Sure is. Most kids will grow out of it. Abel says there was an XX chromosome woman I met who had a penis IRL. Admittedly, it was in the freezer and she tried to steal mine, but she had a penis. I understood. That's very interesting, April. Very interesting. That does sound like the kind of story I would expect from you, yeah. Yeah, the possibility of somewhere on this planet of there being an actual Futanari, which is a entirely biologically female person who has a working male penis. Like maybe there's one on the planet somewhere, but it might be zero. He made it up. No, I don't believe you. Did you make up the watermelon story, Abel? Yeah, see, you didn't make that one up, did you? And you didn't make up the doors. I saw every single one. Those were real. But it says that's just basically having an extremely massive clitoris. Well, it's not just that. There's more to it than that. But there are women with big clitorises, but that's not the same thing. Might be zero. Which one? Good point, JPEG. Go on, Ginja.
If a Futanari in real life actually exists, statistically, it is likely Indian.
Sadly, that's true. Not only because there's lots of them, but because they have a lot of genetic defects.
Do not redeem the Jeet Futa.
Mayor says there is an XX male syndrome, just FYI, Y chromosome genes end up on one of the X's. This is what I'm talking about. Like, there's some very, very rare, but very real biological conditions that fuck with the biological sex binary. So technically, biological sex is not a binary, but it's as close as doesn't matter in most cases. But gender actually is, with the exception of some weird fetishists. So both of them are essentially binary, yes. But there are exceptions in both cases. But very, very rare ones. Like, very small and rare ones. Kieran says, unless it causes serious medical problems, intersex people should never push cosmetic surgery on kids. Even burn injuries that aren't debilitating or painful ought to be left just until the kid can understand the consequences. Some, like keeping scars, just my position anyway. Yes, but... And I agree with your position, mostly. Burn stars I'm not sure about. But the reason they do it young... Again, I disagree with this, but the reason they do it young is because it's way more effective long-term if it's done when they're young. Which is arguably a very bad reason to do it when they're young. And of course, I agree it shouldn't be. But with like deformities like a burn scar...
You're basically crafting young men to be sexual objects for homosexuals.
Yes. One of the many downsides of doing it, yes.
Young boys, not, but yeah.
Yeah.
It is inherently a very evil thing to do. It's like, yes, we need to give you surgery so that way a homosexual man will want to fuck you in the ass.
Mm.
It is one of the most evil things you could do to a child.
Yes, it is. It looks like Baked Zach has... No, he's still going. Yeah, he still thinks he's winning, which is fine by me because it means it'll keep going.
It's free content.
Mm-hmm. There we go. I decided to let Parry take the lead on that one in case he wanted to try and report me. And he seems like the kind that might. Atronach has told Zach to take the Kuma icon off his name. It's degenerate. Gross. It's just the curse. It's nothing I can do about it. It's... All right. So chat, I think we might leave it there. Let's have a look at the TP board. Currently, we have the kittening and rename of Baked Zach into Baked Alaska is £279 behind being kitten, which is a decent chunk. If someone wanted to do it, they probably could. Or if people wanted to contribute towards it and get it done, it could be done. But otherwise, that's okay for now. You got Kloptro, Charcussy have moved their way up the board a bit. And then Glussy and Glussimathussy, new additions to the board. Personally, I think both of them would be quite funny. They have entered the top 11, both of them, and Glussy is 10th. So we'll be looking forward to the movements of that in the next few streams, I think. So, yes, Glossy hates them both. But you hate Mathussy as well? But it's so funny. Glossy, are you a Matthias simp? You just want a man who can take care of you, is that it? So I have, since last stream, I switched over from X11 to Wayland and discovered that my entire, it didn't work before. You had all kinds of issues on Wayland before, but now for some reason it's working brilliantly. Everything was smoother. And I was able to do all of my OBS, all of the browsing, all of the everything, and 2 1080p 60 Discord shares, and there was no issues with performance. There was no like frequent drops in performance, which is what I've been getting today and for the last few months. Nothing. It was almost perfect. That was great. And I thought it was Wayland that had fixed it, switching over to that. But now I'm getting them again. And that's actually very helpful information. Oh, I said that at the beginning. That's very helpful information because I reckon what's happening is it was fine initially, and I noticed that on X11 as well. It was fine initially, but then it degraded later on. It's not because of the streams. I've tested it before with all the stream stuff going on X11 and it's been fine. I reckon it's sleep. I said this earlier. This PC's always had issues with suspend. I reckon there's something wrong with either the motherboard or the GPU, possibly the chipset, possibly it's AM4 in general when it comes to suspend, which is just locking the CPU into a shitty, unworkable state where it does this. And it's probably the GPU because the problem is GPU related. So what I'm probably going to do now is move all the servers off of the corner drawer PC onto my main PC and then just leave the main PC on all the time. Like that's better for many reasons. The main PC can more efficiently run those servers. Having them on the main PC means that I can access them more easily, and they're on a bigger and better redundant storage array. And if I just leave the PC on all the time, then it's okay because it's running servers anyway. It needs to be on the time. But it also means I won't get this issue with sleeping the PC. Now, that's if I can't find a quick fix to the sleep issue. If I can, I might leave it as it is. But now I think I know what I'm looking for. And gradually through this process, I've been narrowing down more and more and more on what the problem is. So, unfortunately, I still have not had a stream where I have just good PC performance throughout the stream. But I will soon, I think. I will soon.
One day.
So, yes.
One day.
Yeah, Jackie, I will. Now that I know what I'm looking for, I will. I've had all kinds of issues with sleep on this PC. All kinds of issues. And I think, to be honest, the correct answer, don't use sleep. Just don't fucking bother. So yeah, I think we'll do that. Thank you for joining me, chat. Hopefully you'll all join me after the stream in Pit 1 or possibly somewhere else, depending on what we're doing, I suppose. I don't know what we might do after the stream. Maybe I'll put on a movie or something while I go cook something. We'll decide when we're there. So we'll head to Pit 1. I have been considering the option of making more Pit Pluses. As you see, Pit Plus 3, the idea there is that anyone that can't use Concourse can't access Pit Plus. So it's basically the Concourse equivalent compared to Pit, which is more like Commons. So it's mostly for Falco and a few others like that. I could make more of the Pit Pluses. And then after the stream, we could tend to use them more because there's been a large uptick in using, for example, Quattro's domain channel and Spooner's domain channel. And I think a large part of the reason for that is because of Falco occasionally joining voice. So I'm open to doing that, meet the needs of the community. Pit 1 will always be completely open. But I think Pit 2, maybe Pit 5, maybe I would close them off a bit more. So just make them Pit Plus. But that's what Pit Plus is. If you ever want to know what these voice channels do, there's a voice help channel that no one ever looks at just above Billboard, which contains the information. Anyway, I will see you all in Pit 1 shortly after the stream. Thank you to my guests today, Quattro and Ted, and also earlier 8-Bit and Clovey, who is now Clovey. I don't want to see any of you calling her Clover. She's now Clovey because that's her kitten title. And that's one of the most powerful forces in Cabal. You know, her screwing up the N tower and putting the E where the R should be. Yeah, that loses her R. But Kitten can actually overpower that. That's more powerful, so. Yes. Anyway.
True.
Thank you for joining me, everyone. I will see you in Pit 1 shortly after the stream. Good night. No politics for the entire day.
Good.
Hooray!